crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's over at the safe haven. Detective 12, we'll check that one out.
6-1 bullet, 2-1 started to show.
Officer still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody? Thanks. Anyone else close? Might just see results. Let me know. 10-5,
Good morning. Hopefully we can get this thing switched over. Thank you all for joining us this morning. And by the way, what's up, Rosie? If you want to be a reporter on the network team, send all inquiries to EvilleCJ at proton.me. Also, you can help the network mark the media algorithm. Hit the like, subscribe, and share this out to your socials. Members get access to all raw HD footage, and to become a member, all you have to do is tap the link in the description or type !member. And then also, if you want to directly support the production, you can just type !PayPal, Cash App, or !Venmo in chat, and those links will pop up for you. What's up, Rosie? If we can get ourselves... There we go. Now we're fitting. What's up, Rosie? Music is a little loud still. Uh-oh. She keeps getting kicked out. Just give us a few moments here. But, oh my gosh, we missed day 9. Having some technical difficulties. But, man, there was quite a comment. Hot mic moment, right? Shut her up. We're going to talk about that. We're on a little bit earlier this morning. We are going to be doing a day 9 recap. And then also, we're going to be covering the trial. I'll also be covering the Tupac Keefe D trial that has jury selection coming out later today. So if you're into that court case, definitely come over and say hi when you're over there. Give me one moment. Not sure what's going on with Rosie here. Give me 1 second. Let me see here. Hot mic. Trying to see if I can find something short that is talking about that. Shut her up. Oh, video of it takes you right to it. Let me see. And then the nanny on day 8. That was crazy. The nanny talked. Okay. I'm going to play this video here real quick. And it says, defense accuses prosecutor of saying shut her up. Give me 1 second here. Whoa, it put it over me. That's weird. That's weird. It put it over me. All right, check this out. I got to turn this music down some more. This is loud. All right.
And I think it's
Why don't
really...
we
No, I don't want to go to the sidebar. I really don't want to go to the sidebar.
I need to know what you're going to talk about before.
I want to tell you that they got picked up on a hot mic saying, shut her up during the playing of that autopsy.
All right.
Oh, they're like, what?
This is not like Handmaid's Tale where you're going to tape them up.
Listen, I'm not doing that at all. I just want to find out what the issue is. There's a lot of privileged issues, and then you can tell me that, and then
He's going to play it for him. And look at these. They're like, what? We didn't do that. Hold on. What?
all right.
What? How dare he? Right? Hold on 1 second. What? So yeah. Hold on. What? Let me get something's going on with my shit. My chat just disappeared. My freaking chat just disappeared. Oh boy, it's going to be one of these days. All right. Well, let's see if I can... Sorry about the disaster already right away. Give me 1 second. Let's switch to this here.
It's humid, but we got to take on some stuff with Lindsay Clancy. Yes, I am officially on vacation, but there is no rest for those with passion of purpose. And we just took a major step towards a mistrial in the Lindsay Clancy trial. Okay, now let's just remind ourselves, all right? There is no dispute here about who killed these kids. There is no dispute about how horrible it is, okay? There's no dispute about any of that. The dispute in this trial is about what motivated what happened, okay? Now, here's the tricky thing. Motivated, what does that sound like? Motive. Well, what does that create as a problem? Well, motive isn't relevant. Did she have the intent to cause serious bodily injury or death to the children? Yes. Yes, she did. It's going to be hard to argue otherwise. Why did she? Now, ordinarily, that's not necessary. You can have a theory as to why. You can agree, you can disagree. However, this is where it gets tricky. Could she form the required intent in order to be responsible for the criminal act? Yes, she has been found competent to stand trial. Was she competent? Was she sane at the time of the crime? That is the dispute. The dispute is not as simple as, yes, she knew what she was doing. She wanted to kill the kids, but that's only because she was diseased of mind. I get why that's unsatisfying for people. I get why that's tricky. It's not for me, but I get why it is for a lot of people. However, that's really not the issue. It's not. The issue is actually whether or not she could form the intent at the time, or was she suffering from severe defect, meaning her absolute known condition, disease, illness of postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. Had it gotten to the point of psychosis, did she have a psychotic break during this? And that is what the trial is about. Now, why did we take a step towards a mistrial here? Well, one small reason, one big reason, okay? And look, I'm going to get to the juicy bits.
All right, I'm going to pause that real quick. He's talking about a mistrial. Have you heard anything about that, Rosie?
I have not.
A mistrial? Whoops.
I have not, but I mean, I guess he's kind of getting ahead of the situation and trying to see where it could go. And
how did it even get to the discussion of a mistrial?
I have no idea.
This whole time I'm thinking, well, she'll probably get reason of insanity, but I don't understand because of the shut her up.
Well, I suppose that could
it's a tough one. No, go ahead.
I think there's a little delay, but I think that could culminate into prosecutorial bias or something. I guess if they really wanted to push that line of argument.
And look at their face. Hold on 1 second. Look at their face. You know, they're just like, what? How dare he? And then and he's walking up there with a phone recording. So, man, obviously you probably couldn't hear it when you were watching. I don't know. Could you?
I didn't hear.
Because I didn't either. Don't you think? Yeah, somebody would, Cuomo would have clipped it or something, or.
Yeah,
but
because I have heard some people say that it was established that they actually said shut it off because something was too loud while they were playing something, But that I don't know. I mean, that sounds a little bit like an excuse to me, but I haven't actually heard it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you could definitely, in the game of telephone, it can be one word and then it comes something else.
Mhm.
That's definitely possible, but let's think about it in a deeper level. Why would the prosecution be the ones to say to shut it off?
Right.
Right? Normally, that would probably be the defense saying, shut it off, my client. All of a sudden, the prosecution is worried about Lindsay's mental health when they've been bashing the mental health during the trial. So, how, like, all of a sudden they have this concern for Lindsay's mental health? Like, shut it off. I highly doubt that. That is the same excuse as the same face that you're seeing right there on the screen. Like, they really said that? Yeah. Like, you got caught.
Yeah.
And she I'm sorry, she looks like a bitchy person too. I haven't had enough coffee. Just look at her face. She looks like a bitchy person.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say, I mean, some of the cross-examining that I've seen, I kind of thought that too.
Yeah. You just what do they call that? Resting. What's up, Miriam? They call that resting bitch face. Is that what they call it? I think
They do, but that's more like court of God bitch face. You see that?
Ooh, Rosie.
You see that?
Damn.
No, but you see it. It's like she
you just one upped me. Damn. Good morning. So I don't know. I think Cuomo's reaching a little bit when it comes to this mistrial. I could see. I mean, I don't know. We'd have to hear the audio. We'd have to hear how loud it is, how clear it is, because it could just, and then you're like, you could make it out to be whatever your ear tells you want it to be.
Of course. Yeah.
So I'd have to hear the audio. I don't know. Maybe somebody. I'm gonna have to find the timestamp of that spot, and then I might do some audio enhancement.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Shut her up. I don't know. I see them. So, mistrial, I don't know. That's kind of reaching it. I think it would be one of those things where they're like, look, let's just not let this stuff happen again. How rude, though, if it's true. Regardless of what side you're on, regardless of what side you're on, how rude if it's true that they were that much of a piece of shit human being. Shut her up. I mean, regardless of how you feel.
Right.
We're all human, So so is there something that you had that you wanted to show? I just kind of showed, I don't know, Chris Cuomo's talking about mistrial right away. So I don't know how much that is pertaining to what you had set for today.
I hadn't watched it, but I try and do a little bit of his opinion, and then I try and do a little bit of like Pat Brown afterwards, so that we've got all the radical opinions in one show. Because I know he's on the complete other end of the spectrum, but I thought it would be a pretty good a good recap to see what he thinks. I do have some other stuff. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead and share it whenever you're good. And yeah, totally rude. Like, are they serious? Yeah, I got to hear the audio, man. I definitely got to hear the audio. But that lawyer, man, he ain't having it. I like this guy. On day one, I was like, why do we need this roller coaster? Because he was making you go like this. And I'm like, why do we need this roller coaster? And then, you know, as day 2 and day 3 and day 4 go, and you see how he's approaching, and he's very clever and crafty. You look up his background. This is what he does, and he's very successful too. But as the trial's gone on, I went from going, "What's the deal with the roller coaster?" to now all of this stuff makes sense. He's just trying to throw you off left and right to catch you slipping, and that's part of his shtick. So, as we've been watching now, day 10, I'm very impressed with him, honestly. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm very impressed with him, honestly. I think he's. I'll just say this: like, if I was in that same position, I'd like to have him as a lawyer. I wonder how much he costs. That's like, how much is he getting paid?
I can imagine it's quite a lot.
And who's paying it, you know?
Yeah.
Or no, there was a GoFundMe, right? Is that?
So yeah, I did look it up. There was a combination of things. So early on, Patrick Clancy had a GoFundMe set up for Lindsay's medical, for the kids' funerals, for legal. And that raised over $1 million. And then I know that her parents, I suppose, are also assisting. And then I think that the house that they lived in at the time was sold. So there's a couple of things that I'm guessing contributed towards him, because he's not a public defender by any stretch of the imagination.
No, there's no way. He's working too hard to be a public defender.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's good. He's good.
Yeah. I did want to, like, when it came to that whole hot mic moment, even if it comes out that wasn't said or was said or whatever happens, I think that it's still very, like, it's interesting to see the dynamic of what happened afterwards, because the judge got so timid to him, where he was like stuck, like, that's not what I'm trying to do. And that the judge is supposed to be the highest authority in the room.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting to see him getting very like submissive almost and shy when it came to.
Well, is probably a shock moment. Like, he never, you know, because who tells the judge, no, I'm not doing a sidebar. I'm not doing that right now. Like, who tells that to a judge? So he was probably like, holy shit, this has never happened. Like, how do I react? You know, it's that situation where, you know, you're always prepared, well, supposedly always prepared for it. And then all of a sudden it happens out of nowhere and you're just caught off guard and you're like, like Porky Pig, you know? So yeah, like, and that was wild. Like, that takes some balls. That takes some guts to tell the judge, no, I'm not doing this. And I think he knew what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because he easily could have went to the sidebar, played the audio. The prosecution team would have been up there too. They would have had to deny, accept, whatever, right there in front of the judge. But he didn't want that to happen. He wanted it to be televised.
Yeah, it's interesting. So the system works a little differently here where I'm from. If you want to stand before a judge and like present a case, you've studied further as a lawyer, so you become an advocate. So you can be an attorney, which is stage 1, and then you move on to being an advocate, or in the UK, I think it's a solicitor. And it's kind of interesting thinking about that, because I know that a lot of people here who were initially like drama majors or theater majors, or they did something in performance and then they go into law school, those are the ones who turn into advocates, because you know they're also like focusing on everyone looking at them and how it looks, and it's like a whole extra layer of lawyering. So that is interesting, and I agree with you. I think he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. He wanted that televised. He wanted everybody to talk about it. He wanted egg on the prosecution's face, and they should have it on their face. Oh, yeah. And it kind of looks, you know, when you're looking at this, let me switch to this real quick again. when you're looking at this, she does look like she has egg on her face, right?
So much. Yeah. It's not good.
Right?
Yeah.
What? Egg on your face. I need to make a picture with egg on her face. Oh my gosh, that's a perfect.
Yeah, you do. You need to do that.
Like she ate something sour. She's about to gag because. All right, so sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. What do you got going for this morning? Where are we going to check out here?
Okay, so because we're here a little early to do our recap, there were two things that I was mostly going to focus on, which was what we missed in terms of medical testimony. So I have a video here from Vinny because we always have to include Vinny. And this one is just about what happened in terms of the doctors, because I know that the hot mic moment is like what we all want to talk about, but we also have to kind of focus on what we missed. So I'm gonna play this, and if we, if we run out of time with pausing or whatever, then we'll just pick it up in the next break.
All right. Thank you all for being here. Please hit the like, subscribe if you're not, and share this out with your socials and friends. All right, Rosie, let's do this. By the way, go sub up to Rosie if you're not subbed.
Very good. She fed them great. She did a lot of things with them. They did like the all-American family.
Why did she do it? Why did Lindsay Clancy take 3 exercise bands and use them to strangle and kill her 3 young children? It's the question a Massachusetts jury will have to decide.
Did you ask her if she had homicidal intent?
Yes.
What was her response?
She did not.
Prosecutors say she plotted and planned the killings because she didn't want to be a mother. But the defense says she was mentally ill and could not control her thoughts or her actions.
Did you observe any signs of psychosis?
No.
How many women have you treated that were suffering from postpartum psychosis?
So I don't think that I probably have.
Each witness, every piece of evidence crucial in this case. As a jury tries to decide if Lindsay Clancy planned and plotted the killings in cold blood or was driven by voices and mental illness she could not control. It's the case about the horrific killings of 3 young innocent children, but it's also the case about a mother with mental illness desperately seeking help. We are taking a look at the trial of Lindsay Clancy here in our special coverage, bringing you the biggest moments from the courtroom today, as this jury must decide, was this mass murder or mental illness? I'm Vinny Politan. Let's investigate.
Let's investigate.
Yes, let's do it.
Not very intimidating.
One of the big unknowns in this case, when it comes time for the jury to decide, is where will the sympathies lie? You've got 3 victims, 3 young children who were strangled to death by the person they loved the most, the person who was supposed to take care of them, their own mother. But that same mother was suffering from mental illness, and the jury has seen her inside the courtroom breaking down at different times during the course of this trial. It's a tough one, but that's going to be part of the calculation when it's time for the jury to decide whether or not to find Lindsay Clancy guilty of 3 counts of murder or not guilty of murder. Let's take you inside the courtroom for the biggest moment from today's testimony.
Now, going to January 3rd, that was the first face-to-face contact you had with the patient, correct?
Yes.
Prior to meeting with her, had you reviewed all of these notes and all of the information up to that date?
Yes.
And did you go through, a report of history with her?
Yes.
Were you able to make an assessment of her mental status during that interaction with her?
Yes.
And what were your observations of her mental status?
I can't, I mean, I can remember certain elements, but I don't remember. I mean, she was dressed in, she was appropriately dressed. Her speech was of normal rate and volume. Behaviorally, she was polite and cooperative. Her mood, I don't remember exactly. It's a quote, so I don't remember exactly what she quoted her mood as being. It would be in the medical record.
What was her mood?
Anxious.
Okay. And did you observe signs of anxiety, or did she tell you that she felt anxious?
She appeared anxious.
And her affect, did you observe it to be congruent to her mood?
Yes.
And you examined her and found her to have linear thinking and appear goal-directed, right?
Yes.
Okay. And as far as addressing kind of why she was there and what your recommendations were, ultimately, what were you trying to address or accomplish in a treatment plan with Ms. Clancy?
That's a very broad question.
Okay, I can break it down if that's okay.
Yes.
Weird.
As far as once you had a chance to sit and talk with her, what did she identify to you to be her main concerns that she wanted to address during her stay at McLean?
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask. I have to pause it. Is this going okay? Like, what is going on here? Because bear in mind, okay, this is a recap. We missed a day, so we're catching up. So this is my first time seeing this. I haven't seen it in context, but what is going on here? She's basically saying just read the record.
Yeah, like the broad question, it wasn't a broad question. She was asking you what you thought, like after reading the medical records, and then you saw her, and then you heard her, and you talked to her. What did you think? And I think she just didn't know how to answer the question. That was not a broad question. Yeah, it's like just like all the other medical professionals that we've been seeing during this trial. They got to review the records. They don't even recall. This is one thing, this is not a typical, you see somebody that came in on a Tuesday afternoon. Like, you're seeing this lady, and then all of a sudden this lady commits this horrific act against her children. It leaves an imprint up here. You should be recalling at least half the shit. At least half. So yeah, it threw me off guard too. Like, well, that's a broad question. No.
Yeah, and look, also
horrible witnesses, man. For the
I was
prosecution,
gonna say,
for real.
Like, I know that a lot of people are gonna jump in here and say, okay, well, that's pretty insensitive. They're just people. They're just nervous and stuff like that. But when you do go into a profession like this, you're taking responsibility for people's minds.
Yeah.
Like their mental well-being. You're not like it's something you do have to be ready for if that's what you want to go and do. It's not just about studying and getting a job. There's so much more to it.
Yeah. So, something that traumatic, something that huge, that should be sticking out in your head. You should be recalling at least half your stuff. And the fact that every single witness for the prosecution can't recall anything. Is this why we have so many witnesses in this trial? I mean, the list is freaking crazy. Tupac trial coming up here soon. They got 200 witnesses in that one. So I'm sure it's, right around the same. But damn. And Marion brings up, they didn't review their notes, right? Like we have notes for the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta do your work. You gotta do your work so you're prepared. So when you go in, you're factual. You would think that these people would, review their notes, their records, something. I mean, you're professional. Show up like a professional. It's like somebody showing up to a show where somebody's hosting a show to promote their business, and they don't even have anything fucking ready for their own shit. And it's like, what are you doing? What are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing? You're not even going to prepare for your own shit. Like, what are we doing? Horrible witnesses. Oh, I mean, and it's like every single one of them, Rosie. What do you think? To me, it's like every single one of these witnesses for the prosecution has just been horrendous.
Yeah. And this is not even them under cross-examination. This is direct examination where they're supposed to be okay.
Yes, where they already worked with the prosecution,
Right,
where the prosecution already knows what you're going to answer. You already know what the prosecution's going to ask you. They work this shit before they go into the trial.
Well,
And this is what you're getting every single day. Yeah, you're getting resting bitch face with egg on it. That's what you're getting. What?
Right.
Gross. Come on.
Yeah,
This prosecution team looks horrible. I'm sorry. They do.
No, I agree with you. Also, before I press play, I need to tell you, like, I'm not getting, when I speak, it's not registering those little dots that I'm speaking. So at any point that you can't hear me, let me know, because I don't know.
You hear fine. You guys in chat, does she need to, I don't know, what do you do? Turn your microphone up on StreamYard or something?
Yeah, just let me know if I need to, because it's not registering me, but you seem to be able to hear me.
I hear you fine. Yeah, I hear you fine, but it could be something different over the airwaves. So if you guys want to let us know if Rosie needs to be louder or whatever, let us know. We apologize about that. All right, back to the next witness that don't know shit.
She did not want to be dependent on an antipsychotic medication, which is what Seroquel's class is, even though it's used for insomnia and other indications, depression. She didn't want to be dependent on Seroquel to be able to fall asleep.
Okay, and so fair to say she was very concerned about wanting to sleep at night.
Yes.
And she was very concerned about her symptomology, or what she was experiencing by way of symptoms from various medications, right?
Yes.
And that concept, or the phrase numbness, did she use that a few times?
Yes.
And again, you mentioned Dr. Madvo was concerned about the numbness with the medication. In your experience with Seroquel, is that also a common side effect for people to feel numb?
It can be one of the side effects that people can have.
Okay. And as far as the suicidal statements that you were aware of from the prior reports, did you go through that with her about whether she presented to you with suicidal ideation?
Can you ask me that again?
Sure. Did you talk to her about her thoughts of suicide?
Yes.
And did you talk to her about whether she had any specific plan?
Yes.
Did she have any plan?
No.
Had she reported that she had ever had a plan for suicide?
No.
And did she tell you there were reasons why she thought she wouldn't commit suicide?
Yes.
What were those reasons?
Her children and her family, her mother.
So after this face-to-face interaction with her and kind of going through her history and having reviewed what you had, the information you had about her, what did you develop as a plan for her while she was at McLean?
I continued with the plan to taper her off Seroquel and to monitor whether her symptoms improved, but also to see if she could sleep while she was off of Seroquel. And to really observe symptoms and mood.
During this first interaction with her, was there any conversation about how long she would stay or what her plan might be after she left McLean?
When we met the first time, Lindsay said that she had her daughter's birthday coming up on the weekend, and that it had been planned months ahead of that date, and she was hoping that she could be there that weekend so she could be with the kids and family who was going to come for the birthday party.
Now, the concept of kind of tapering her off the Seroquel and monitoring her symptoms, did that seem like a realistic goal to you?
Yes.
And now, after having spoken to her and developing this plan, were you also cognizant or thinking about the potential for a bipolar disorder diagnosis? And so how did that affect how you approached this plan to taper?
Again, we were observing for any symptoms that would indicate that she might have bipolar disorder.
And where she had reported that she had issues with sleep, was that also something of concern to you if there was the potential for a bipolar disorder?
Yes.
And reduction of medication, what was the concern for the sleep?
I think people's mental health is negatively affected if they cannot sleep, whether it's bipolar disorder or depression. And so sleep is important.
Okay, and so a person that you might be considering for a bipolar diagnosis would lack of sleep make you watch for symptoms of hypomania?
Yes, sleep sleep deprivation can lead to a bipolar episode, a hypomanic manic episode.
So you wanted to monitor her patterns and her sleep and her mood to see if there was any evidence of that, correct?
Yes.
In this first interaction where you identified a plan, did you also make a suggestion about a particular medication that she might consider after the Seroquel had been discontinued?
Yes.
What was the alternative medication, if you will?
It was Cymbalta, which is an antidepressant.
And was that something that you intended to prescribe for her while she was there, or was it something that you suggested that she could consider as an outpatient?
It was just a consideration. It would depend on how she was doing after she was off of the Seroquel.
Okay. Now, what about the Valium? Was there a plan to address tapering or weaning her off Valium or an alternative to Valium?
Yes, I switched her from Valium to Ativan.
Okay.
Because it has a shorter half-life. And, in my experience, it manages anxiety well.
And were you aware that she had taken Ativan before?
Yes.
And did she report any concerns about Ativan or benzodiazepines in general?
Yes.
What was the concern she reported to you?
She stated that her husband had concerns about her being on a benzodiazepine.
During this interaction with her on the January 3rd, did you observe any signs of psychosis?
No.
And in the notes and the interactions with the providers prior to your meeting between January 1st and January 3rd, did anyone ever note any symptoms or concerns for psychosis?
No.
When I was a prosecutor, a young prosecutor, one of my jobs was overseeing the hearings of people who had been found not guilty by reason of insanity, which is the same as the lack of criminal responsibility in Massachusetts. Those people don't just get set free. Most of them begin with inpatient treatment. They're institutionalized. But every 6 months to a year, they come back inside the courtroom. And at any time, if a judge finds that they're no longer a threat to themselves or to others, they can be released back into the community. That's the reality. If Lindsay Clancy's found not guilty here, she could be released back into the community. It could be in 6 months. It could be in a year. It could be in 20 years. It all depends upon her state of mental health. That's a big part of the equation in this case when it comes to what should happen to Lindsay Clancy. The jury will tell us, though, if she's guilty or not as they continue to take a look at the testimony and the evidence. Here's the second biggest moment from today's testimony.
Why is a sleep pattern important for you as a psychiatrist trying to evaluate your patient?
Because difficulty sleeping is a symptom of several different conditions, and it can worsen several different conditions.
And you know that she had reported severe anxiety, right?
She was struggling with anxiety, yes.
Struggling with anxiety, and she was having not just insomnia, but she had very, very severe insomnia, didn't she?
She wasn't able to sleep.
And you would prefer to have more information about sleep patterns, is what you said. I'm not putting words in your mouth. That's what you said.
I know that we were able to observe her sleep while she was on the unit. Once she left the unit, I would not know how she was sleeping, which is why we referred her to somebody else so that they could continue to monitor her symptoms.
Obviously. So let's put the time that you are observing her or that your social workers are investigating, to whatever extent they did, her background. What were her sleep patterns that were important to you prior to New Year's 2023?
The amount of sleep is important.
Yeah, and you said that. You already said, I would have preferred to have more information about her sleep patterns.
After she was if I was going to continue to evaluate her, I would want to observe her sleep is what I meant.
Oh, so you didn't mean that as an evaluator of her prior medical history, trying to get a history of your patient for purposes of diagnosis and treatment, that you wanted to know what her sleep patterns were. You didn't mean that you meant prior?
The history of whether somebody is struggling with insomnia is important, and the patient can relay that to me.
Okay. You ever heard of patients that minimize their symptoms and lie about their symptoms sometimes?
Yes.
Okay. So it's important to corroborate what the person is telling you, right? I mean, you want to talk to somebody else objective to find out what, if any, evidence there is of symptomology.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but is he not just trying to say, like, did you not request some kind of a patient history from everyone who had seen her before? And the doctor's not particularly understanding that she was supposed to do that.
Right?
I don't want to be mean. I don't. I get she's probably very nervous.
Hey. You are trained. You are trained to do this. She doesn't. It's just like all these other witnesses for the prosecution. They don't know shit. And he's doing a wonderful job showing the public that these doctors didn't do their job. None of them.
Yeah.
None of them.
I mean, it is pretty strange hearing, like, she just confirmed her history. Like, you didn't get the records.
Yeah. Like you didn't review your notes before you were coming to the stand. Like he's doing a wonderful job discrediting these witnesses, because I remember when we first, in day one, when we first started talking about this before the trial even was kicked off, we were talking about personal experiences that a lot of us have had with the medical care or lack of what's the word? Where they just don't even really care to truly hear you. They're just writing a script and tossing it for you to go fill it up. And, you know, Dr. Joseph, what's his name? His last name, Doctor.
I forgot it again. It's double
Yeah.
barreled.
Yeah, Dr. Joseph. We'll just call him Dr. Joseph. Dr. Joseph, you know, brought up a great point that these medical professionals weren't even giving, you know, as they were prescribing her new meds, they weren't even giving her body time and her mental time to go from one medication to the next.
Right.
And he said, you know, the first couple medications, they weren't working. That's understandable. 9 out of 10 they work. There's always that 10th person. It could have been her. But he said after that, all the other medications that she was prescribed and was put on, it was just this cocktail that you were feeding her. And what it is, you know, somebody, you know, this online shit, and these doctors are just hurrying up and running through them real quick, you know. Oh, okay. Brrr. Not even really taking the time to listen to what's going on. Even with the husband was reaching out to these people, trying to tell them the atmosphere, the situation, what was going on, and they weren't even listening to him.
Yeah.
The one person that knows best about the shit she's going through, what's going on, the day-to-day, the roller coasters, the emotions, all these other things. He knows it best. And the fact that you're not even listening to him, you're coming up with your own shit. You're not even listening to her. You're not listening to him. Here, try this drug. Here, try this drug. Not giving yourself time to wean off the other one. Try this one. Try that. He's like, no, Dr. Joseph's like, no wonder none of this medication worked after the first couple. It's because it wasn't designed to work that way, because you're not supposed to be mixing it with other shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really tragic. I mean, we can't possibly know the outcome of this had that all just been handled properly prior, you know.
100%.
Yeah.
This is why it's important. Yes. You know, it's one thing if you want to give somebody the wrong Band-Aid, but medicine that affects their brain, that affects their thinking, that affects their thought process, that affects their other organs. This isn't a game, you know, where you just throw it out there. And it's important because this is why you're seeing what you're seeing. You're seeing these medical professionals. Again, this was a traumatic event that they never, I guarantee you, none of them probably ever went through before in their whole life. Shit should be imprinted in your brain to where you're studying your notes before you go up and testify. You're recalling all these other things because you're studying your notes. You should be coming in testifying so well informed that people sit back and go, damn, that's a professional. This whole time, day 10, I've not seen any professionalism from these witnesses, from the prosecution. I just haven't.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have to say, when we first started watching, I was much more on the side of the state in my opinions of this case, and it's like it didn't flip, but it just, like, as I started to watch, I just gradually was like, wow, okay. And it had a lot to do with the witnesses, just like each witness after the next, I was like, whoa. Yeah.
I mean, I feel you, because look, when they came out with their opening statements, you know, I was looking at the defense like, why are we doing this fucking roller coaster, bro? What's the point? Why are we doing all this extra? You know, what's it for? And the prosecution was like, I'm sorry. Just like what you were saying, I really thought the prosecution was going to come out there and hit a home run and knock it out of the park. And as I'm sitting here watching them whiff, they're like whiffing at easy ass pitches. They're not even, it's bad. Like, yeah, the beginning opening statements is like, damn, prosecution's going to tear it up. The defense, you're like, oh, okay, you're doing all this extra shit to distract from, you're going to get your ass wiped in the courtroom. But no, after the opening statements, it has been literally just crap testimony from these witnesses and the defense tearing them up.
Yeah, this is why trials are so important. I mean, when it started, I was thinking to myself, well, he's not really very good, and now look.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And we did that with Patrick.
I'm sorry?
So when a patient presents and they're talking to us, it is not just about what they are saying. It's about their body language, their eye contact. You can get a sense of whether a person is being honest or whether they're lying. And we are not, we're providers. The patient is there to get help. They're going to tell us what is bothering them and what they're concerned about. That's why they're in the hospital.
This woman was in a locked ward. She couldn't walk off your unit, could she?
That is what a psychiatric unit is.
Right. And she was very sick, wasn't she?
I don't know what you mean by very sick.
Really? You indicated that you would assume that she would take what I prescribed. Do you do that with all of your patients? Assume that when they have mental disease or a defect that they would do what they're told?
If they are cooperative, and they have been cooperative and reliable, yes.
One of the things that's referenced would be, she stated that she had intrusive thoughts. Remember that?
Yes.
What were the intrusive thoughts?
From what's stated in the medical record, thoughts of suicide.
Okay. And how often would she have the intrusive thoughts?
I don't recall if the frequency.
Would you agree with me that in addition to anxiety and in addition to inability to sleep, that she was in what was self-described as a brain fog, right?
She complained of feeling, you can complain of feeling foggy.
She also
This lady's
complained
horrible.
about that she felt as if she was a zombie, right?
She did not use those words.
Did anybody else use that word describing her in your investigation?
No.
Did Patrick tell you that he was concerned about the medications that she had been prescribed over the past 2 or 3 months?
Yes.
And you knew what the medications were that she was prescribed, correct?
She told us.
She told you, okay. And she told you that she was prescribed, in addition to the SSRI Zoloft, that was increased from 25 to 100, that she was then told...
I was aware that...
I'm sorry, 50.
Correct.
She was then told to stop taking the Zoloft by Dr. Tufts, right?
She reported not being able to sleep, and they agreed that she would not take the Zoloft.
Okay, so the answer is yes. She was told to stop taking the Zoloft by Dr. Tufts, right?
I think you would have to ask Dr. Tufts that.
Well, I will. But I'm asking you, as investigating her...
I know that she stopped taking the Zoloft, and that she saw Dr. Tufts, so I assume that they would have come to that agreement.
All right, so as you're evaluating this patient, you're assuming that she voluntarily stopped taking the Zoloft?
Because she wasn't able to sleep, and she discussed it with Dr. Tufts.
She did. You knew that.
She told us she did.
Okay. How many patients have you treated? How many women have you treated that were suffering from postpartum psychosis?
I don't recall. I don't
What?
remember, but I think it would stick in my memory, so I
What?
don't think that I probably have.
What? Whoa, whoa,
You don't
whoa, whoa,
think you
whoa. Can we
probably
pause
have?
this?
I don't.
What the hell? I don't recall. I don't remember. I don't think I probably what the wow. Wow. What are we watching here?
I don't know.
What the hell are we watching?
I don't know.
I don't recall if I've ever had what? Man, this is not. Listen, I would if she was my doctor, I'd be switching yesterday. You don't know what?
Yeah.
What?
I'm actually a bit speechless.
I am too. All I can say is what?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, are we really hearing this? This is from a witness.
Right.
From the prosecution.
And this is like what's important is that I think that the reason he's doing so well here is probably also that he's reviewed everything from the civil suits, so he's prepared for it because these are the people who would have been involved in that. So this is not even their
He's not even having to work that hard. They're making him look good.
I know, because she's like, you'll have to ask Dr. Whoever, and he's like, oh, I will.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy crap. Please hit the like, subscribe if you're not. Make sure you have the notifications turned on to all so you get notified every time we go live. YouTube's not been giving people notifications anyway, so just hit it anyway and hope for the best, right? Wow. Yes, make sure you sub up to Rosie Overtime if you're not as well. Here's the link for her channel. I just wanted you to pause it real quick because I'm just like, what? What are we watching?
I don't think I have. I haven't seen any.
As the trial of Lindsay Clancy continues, day after day, witness after witness, the jury is getting closer and closer to the moment that they'll have to decide here. So as we take a listen to the biggest moments from inside the courtroom, pay close attention to each witness, because
why is he not saying
one
anything
of these
about it?
witnesses could provide that one piece of evidence that will make all the difference. Here's our third biggest moment from today.
Maybe
Why
he
isn't
will
he
ask
saying
all of
something
them.
about it?
Do you recall
You
when
think
you
so?
first
Okay.
saw Lindsay Clancy as a
I think he's probably gonna play all of them, and then at the end he's gonna.
All right. I mean,
hope.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope too.
patient?
Yes,
When was that?
it was in September of 2022.
And was that first appointment on September 15th, 2022?
I believe that it was.
And prior to a patient coming in for their first appointment, is there paperwork that they fill out either online or that's provided to them to fill out?
Yes. She had previously taken some medication. I believe it was in nursing school. It may have been fairly brief, but she had tried the medication Prozac.
Do you recall that she also listed that she had tried Wellbutrin as well while she was on the Prozac?
That was listed as well.
Okay. And do you recall that when she listed that she took the Prozac and the Wellbutrin while in nursing school, she listed that she had no side effects from those medications?
That is correct.
Prozac, is that an SSRI?
Yes.
So Lindsay reported that she had previously taken an SSRI while in nursing school with no side effects, correct?
That was a weird. Can you pause it?
Did she also report that she had no history of any?
Did you see the way that she looked at the jury there?
I missed that moment. I was looking down. Should I take it back a little?
Yeah, take it back like 15 seconds and watch the way she looks at the jury. Very, this is a weird look.
Side effects from those medications?
That is correct.
Prozac, is that an SSRI?
Yes.
So Lindsay reported that she had.
What the hell was that?
SSRI while in
Oh my
nursing
God,
school.
these witnesses, man, what is going on here? What happened on day 9?
Day 9 was that was weird. I'm not sure what that was, but it almost felt like she was being stared at, or she got uncomfortable. I don't know.
It was almost like a dirty look too.
Yeah, and she sighed.
Play it one more time. Play it one more time, and you can mute it if you want. It just looked like, yes, very uncomfortable. It was just, you would think you would crack like a smirk or something, when you're looking, just that face. What the heck, man? These witnesses, Day 9 was popping, huh? Holy hell, Day 9 was popping.
Yeah, that was very weird. I don't know. It's just, we'll just choke down to what happens on Day 9 stays on Day 9. I don't know.
We'll see how Day 10 goes. Holy hell.
Right. Yeah.
Well, ever since Day 5, Rosie, it's been, the stove's been piping hot. Day 5 and on, it's been wild.
Correct.
Did she also report that she had no history of any kind of abuse that had occurred to her at any point in her life?
Correct.
What did she report in regards to alcohol consumption?
I believe she reported 1 to 2 drinks at a time, and possibly up to 5 times a week.
And so in that section, is it correct that she listed that she was drinking 5 times per week and feeling guilty at that time about it?
Yes.
What symptoms did she report experiencing at that time?
That's definitely what it sounds like. Oh, snap.
Decreased appetite, depressed mood, easily distracted, excessive worry, guilt, unable to feel pleasure, unable to fall asleep, and racing thoughts.
And would it be fair to say that there's a checklist of symptoms and the patient checks off which ones they're experiencing, correct?
Yes.
And so on that list, engage in risky behaviors, that was not checked off, correct?
Correct.
And excessive energy wasn't checked off, correct?
Correct.
Feelings of hopelessness, feelings of abandonment, feelings of emptiness, none of those were checked off, correct?
Correct.
Impulsive behavior, that was not checked off, correct?
Correct.
Now, was there also a suicide risk assessment form that Ms. Clancy filled out?
Yes.
And what is a suicide risk assessment?
Well, it assesses various factors that may increase a person's risk of committing suicide.
And the form that Ms. Clancy filled out, the first question is, have you been so distressed you seriously wish to end your life? And her response was no, correct?
I'm just looking.
Page 23.
Correct.
And the second question is, has anything happened recently to make you feel you don't want to live? And her answer was no, correct?
Correct.
There's question 3, a specific plan. Do you have a specific plan of how you would kill yourself? And her answer was no, correct?
Correct.
Fourth question is access to weapons or means of hurting yourself. And the answer is no, correct?
Correct.
The fifth question is made a serious suicide attempt. And the answer was no, correct?
Correct.
The sixth question, purposely done something to hurt yourself. Again, no, correct?
Correct.
Seventh question, heard voices telling you to hurt yourself. Her answer was no, correct?
Correct.
Number 9, having thoughts of killing or seriously hurting someone else. The answer was no, correct?
Correct.
Number 10, heard voices telling you to hurt others. The answer was no, correct?
Correct.
Hurt someone or destroyed property on purpose. The answer was no, correct?
Correct.
In fact, the answers to every question on this suicide checklist was no, correct?
Correct.
There was also I believe it's entitled a GAD screening. Is that generalized anxiety disorder?
Yes.
Okay, and did Miss Clancy fill that out as well? Page 27.
Sorry, my pages are a little bit different than yours.
Oh, I
but
apologize.
I'll find it.
Oh my gosh. If you're enjoying the live stream, help us reach more people. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, comment, share this out to your socials and friends. And we appreciate you being here this morning. And good morning, by the way.
Miss Clancy's answers to these questions, did they give you cause for concern based on your training and experience?
They were highly suggestive of anxiety and an anxiety disorder.
And for example, number 1, feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge, she responded nearly every day, correct?
Correct.
Not being able to stop or control worrying, she answered nearly every day, correct?
Yes.
And so several of these questions were either nearly every day or several days, correct?
Yes.
Form that's entitled PHQ-9 Patient Questionnaire. What is the purpose of that form?
It's a screening tool for depression.
And can you talk about the defendant's answers to those questions and what they told you based on your training and experience?
Well, some of the answers were positive. So that really indicates that she should be assessed for depression. She might have it.
Okay. And when you say positive, what do you mean by positive?
So for example, she said for number 2, feeling down, depressed, and hopeless more than half of the days, a positive response means indicating yes.
Can you just tell us when you met with Miss Clancy on that first day, did you ask her questions such as, do you have suicidal intent?
Yes.
What was her response?
That she did not.
I just wanted to jump in because that positive negative thing is kind of confusing, and it's tripped me up on stuff before. So like when she answered in the positive, she meant yes, even though it's a bad thing, which that confused me. It took me a while to figure that out. So it's not that it was like a positive feeling, but it was a positive on not feeling good, if that makes sense. I think it's muted, sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I was a little confused on that too. By the way, I'm going to be putting up a poll. Day 10 is Lindsay Clancy. 1, 100% guilty. 2, guilt by insanity. 3, innocent. Or 4, undecided. You can just type in 1, 2, 3, or 4 in chat when we get that poll up here in a second, and you'll see the live results as you all vote. Thank you all for being here.
Did you ask her if she had homicidal intent?
Yes.
What was her response?
She did not.
Did you ask her if she was experiencing any auditory hallucinations or visual hallucinations?
Yes.
What was her response?
She did not.
Did you ask her questions to determine if she was experiencing any symptoms of mania?
Yes.
What types of questions you asked to determine that?
Well, a lot of it can be assessed without asking, but questions may look like, have you ever had a period of time in your life where you were excessively energetic and euphoric? I might leave it there and then follow up with some of the other symptoms.
Did any of the questions you asked Ms. Clancy related to mania or manic episodes, did any of her answers to those questions indicate that she had experienced mania or manic episodes?
No.
Let's take you back inside the courtroom. Another big day of testimony today. Here's the 4th biggest moment from inside the courtroom.
Can you pause it real quick, please?
You ask the patient why they've come to you, what.
And good morning, anybody that's just joining the trial. Day 10 starts at 9 a.m. Eastern. And good morning, everybody. What's up, Christina? And also, I want to say thank you to Pam over on Facebook for the like over there as well. Please hit the like, subscribe if you're not, and share this out to your socials and friends. We appreciate you being here.
they're concerned about. Do you recall Lindsay's response to that question, why she was there, what she was concerned about?
I believe her biggest concern was about anxiety.
And what was the treatment modality or interventions that you determined would be needed for Lindsay Clancy based on this initial evaluation?
So I recommended a medication sertraline as well as individual therapy.
And the medication sertraline, is that Zoloft?
Yes.
Okay. And when you say you recommended that the Zoloft to her, was that you telling her you have to take this medication, or did you have a discussion about it?
A discussion.
And during that discussion, did you get the patient, Ms. Clancy's, input on whether she wanted to take the medication or what her thoughts were about the medication?
Yes.
And do you recall the details of that conversation with her?
I recall that she was generally reluctant to take medications, but at this point she was considering it and was interested in learning about what medications might be helpful for her.
And as part of that discussion, did you explain what the medication was and the side effects?
I also wanted to jump in there for a minute. I think it's pretty interesting that this doctor, Dr. Tufts, is noting that she was reluctant to take medications, but she was considering it. And then we have, a doctor down the line who's taking her word for it that she was taking her medication just because she asked it. And if another doctor can detect that she has a reluctance to be on medication, then you would expect the next doctor, whose name I forgot, to do what we saw them mention in the documentation for the civil suit, which would be to do blood work to ascertain if she's taking stuff, instead of saying, hey, are you taking stuff? And she's like, yeah.
Right? You would want to be more informed about your patients so you could properly treat them, right?
Yeah. I mean, she can clearly tell that there's a reluctance to be on medication in general. So you kind of have to assume that a person's maybe not going to take their medicine.
You're not supposed to take medication with alcohol. And if you're drinking, let's be honest, if you're going into a doctor and they're asking you a question about something like that, you're probably going to lowball them. Right. Yeah, I only have 1 to 2 drinks 5 nights a week, when really it's probably 3 or 4 for 7.
Right.
The reluctance of not wanting to take medication could have been the dependence on the alcohol. And that could have been another reason why the medication wasn't working like it was supposed to.
Yeah,
it could be.
That's a good point. It's a really good point. But it also just shows you how the doctors are so disconnected from each other.
Oh yeah, exactly. Totally disconnected. Nobody was talking to anybody because nobody knew anything. I mean, we're listening to them testify, and not one of them can recall anything without looking at their notes. What's up, Miss Cosmo? Thank you for joining. Hope you're having a great morning too.
Yeah, it's very concerning.
The doctors are. It doesn't matter if it's this doctor, that doctor, even if it's a dentist. They all communicate, especially with medication, and it's called a network. It's to prevent people getting prescribed things that can do harm with other medications that they might not know about. So all of these doctors have a network where they can see all of this stuff. So they should have been. It's not that hard to be informed. I mean, this is what your job is. This is what you go to school for. Yeah. The number one job of you is to treat your patient, and everything else comes after that. This was obviously not taking place.
All of that?
Yes.
And did she have any questions for you based on your explanation of what the medication was for and what the side effects could be?
I'm not sure.
And why did you recommend that particular medication?
So it's a first-line medication used for treating anxiety disorders. It also is a first-line treatment when women are breastfeeding. It's the safest SSRI for babies.
And when you say a first-line medication, what does that mean?
It just means it's one of the medications that is recommended first. Sometimes you have to try a number of different medications, but that is often a first choice.
And is that based on studies and the experience of the psychiatric profession?
Yes.
What was the dosage that you recommended or prescribed for her for the Zoloft?
25 milligrams.
And were there instructions on the prescription in terms of how many milligrams to take the first week and then how many to take the second week?
Yes, it was 25 milligrams for 1 week and then increasing to 50 milligrams.
And that was your initial prescription and what should have been on the pill bottle, correct?
Yes.
Was there ever a call from the defendant where she called you and said that she was having trouble with the 25 milligrams and you recommended her go to the 50 milligrams?
No.
You said you also recommended therapy, is that correct?
Yes.
And Astra Mental Health, did they have therapists on staff that you referred Ms. Clancy to?
Yes.
And do you know if she took advantage of that resource?
She did.
Do you know which therapist she saw?
Yes.
Who was that?
Jennifer McAllister.
And how does it work when a patient is at Astra Mental Health, they're being seen by a psychiatrist, they're being seen by a therapist? Is there someone that's kind of in charge of the treatment of the patient that oversees everything, or is it all just individual?
The psychiatrist is in charge.
Okay. So you would have been in charge of Ms. Clancy's treatment?
Yes.
And as part of being in charge of her treatment, would you review the records from her therapy sessions to inform and guide your treatment of her?
Yes.
What were the treatment goals for the defendant?
I don't recall exactly what her words were.
Would the goals be what your patient tells you?
Yes.
I'm going to approach and just ask that you look at page 41 of the records for Exhibit 219 to the treatment goal section. Does that refresh your memory?
Yes.
And what were the treatment goals according to Ms. Clancy?
So these are not her words. There's a list in the electronic medical record where I can indicate which ones might apply, or I can type out my own. So the treatment goals based on what we had decided on together were symptom reduction and improved functioning.
And you said that Ms. Clancy had been a little reluctant about starting medication. Did she tell you why she was reluctant?
Yes.
And why was that?
She was worried about having side effects.
And did she mention which specific side effects or just side effects in general?
I thought it was in general.
And as a result of that concern, is that when you went over the potential side effects of Zoloft?
Yes.
And after having that discussion and you explaining the side effects of Zoloft, how did the two of you leave it in terms of whether she was going to take the medication or not?
I told her what my recommendation was, that she should start the sertraline. I'm not sure if she told me definitively if she was going to take it or not. She might have needed some time to think about it.
And based on your evaluation with Ms. Clancy, everything you learned about her history and how she presented that day, did you have an initial diagnosis?
Yes.
And what was that?
It was a generalized anxiety disorder, and it was an adjustment disorder with depressed mood.
And you also wrote in the note about history of present illness, 3 months postpartum, also 4 and 2-year-old feeling overwhelmed. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that came from the patient, Ms. Clancy?
Yes.
And furthermore, you wrote that the baby needing more attention, other kids more challenging too. Is that coming from the patient?
Yes.
And does she also describe she's having trouble leaving the baby, too anxious to do anything when she leaves, physical tension, heart racing, worries he won't eat or sleep because he's refusing the bottle?
Yes.
And did she say that makes her irritable?
Yes.
And in that same note is where you detail that she denied audio hallucinations, visual hallucinations. You also, correct?
Yes.
And you also detail suicidal ideation, homicidal ideation, denies no concern about hurting baby. Is the no concern about hurting baby, is that a note, an observation you're making, or something that came from Ms. Clancy?
It came from our conversation.
Oh, that is bad. That's really not good. That was literally written in there.
What do you mean?
Where it says no concern about hurting baby.
Oh, yeah.
In the notes, like oh God, if I were that doctor, I would feel so terrible knowing that I wrote that. And I know that it's not something that's easy to just ascertain what another person's gonna do. But wow, I don't know how I would feel. I'd feel terrible.
Well, I mean, she was just going off the words of Lindsay, right?
I know. It's just hard to hear it.
You know, you don't. Who really thinks that somebody's gonna hurt their baby? You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she doesn't look too concerned. She don't look too concerned.
I know.
But just a doctor going off the patient's words, you know. You don't really, kind of like the husband. The husband was told multiple times that she had those thoughts of hurting the children. You know, and I'm sure if he really thought that she was actually capable of doing that, I'm sure he would have. I don't know, if I was in that position, I think things would have went a little differently, for sure. You mentioned that the first time, we're gonna have to take some steps here, you know.
Yeah.
Just the mention of it is like, whoa, that's not good. But it just, you know, a doctor listening to what she's saying, writing down the notes.
I know.
Is how I took it.
So at some point in time, she told you she had no concerns about harming the baby.
Yes, it was.
Just an objection? You could rephrase that question.
What did she tell you about her thoughts about the?
Uh-oh.
Have a case that is as long as this case is. And
Uh-oh,
has as
what's
many
going on here?
witnesses as this case does. Sometimes for a jury, it becomes
StreamYard.
confusing.
Yeah, I think so.
But they're allowed to take notes, and that's important. Some jurors take a lot of notes, some take a few notes, but those notes they can then refer to refresh their own recollection about what they heard maybe during the first day of testimony, when it's weeks later and it's time to come to a decision. So let's take you back inside the courtroom for more of that testimony, more of that evidence, and our fifth biggest moment from today.
So
Sorry
at
about
this
the
point,
technical stuff, everybody.
She was improving, and we decided to pause on the medication question and have her meet with one of our therapists.
So that first appointment was on September 15th. You recommended therapy. The next appointment was September 28th. So had Lindsay not scheduled a therapy appointment yet with Jennifer McAllister at that point?
I'm not sure when she called to schedule that.
And but that was the plan going forward, that your recommendation was that she attend therapy with Jennifer McAllister?
Yes.
And did Ms. Clancy seem receptive to that plan?
Yes.
Did she tell you she was going to make an appointment with Ms. McAllister?
Yes.
Now, according to the records, the next appointment was October 3rd, 2022, just 5 days later. Was there a reason that you had such a short time span between that?
Thank you,
September
Kib Kitty,
28th
for the
appointment and
200
October
joules,
3rd
sunshine.
with Ms. Clancy?
I believe that the patient must have scheduled the appointment on her own, and that's why the span time was rather short.
Do you recall Ms. Clancy reaching out to you about getting paperwork for a maternity leave extension?
Yes.
And did she reach out to you through the portal for Astor Health?
Yes.
And did you respond to her on that portal?
Yes.
And did you fill out paperwork for her to extend her maternity leave?
I think that I did.
And so there is a message from Ms. Clancy to you on September 30th, 2022 in the portal that states, "Hi, Dr. Tufts. Thanks again for all your help at our last 2 appointments. While I am feeling just better enough to function without medication, I did reach out to my employer about extending my leave for reasons of postpartum anxiety/depression. I don't feel mentally well enough to return to taking care of patients with a baby at home that still won't take the bottle. I know this will trigger my anxiety too much, and also having to stay up all night as a nurse, I don't feel it's possible right now. They asked that my provider could fill out a form so they could process this request. Can I please send you the form to fill out?" And you responded on September 30th, 2022 at 2:41 p.m. This type of paperwork often requires a lot of information, so it's best if we go through it together in an appointment. Do you recall that?
Yes.
So would that have been why the October 3rd appointment was set up?
That may have been, yes.
And then do you recall receiving a message from Ms. Clancy on October 10th, 2022, stating, "Hi, Dr. Tufts, there is a part on the serious health condition form that you filled out for me that needs to be changed. On the second page, you put I could work a reduced schedule of 8 hours per day, 2 days per week. However, we discussed not working at all until January 1st. I think we talked about when I returned to work, that is what I could do, but that the way it appears on the form makes it seem like I can do that now. Do you still have the form to make the adjustment, or do I need to send it back to you?" And then you responded that you would send back an updated version. Is that correct?
Yes.
The next time that you saw Ms. Clancy, was that on October 20th, 2022?
Yes.
And what information did you learn on that date about whether or not she was taking the Zoloft you had prescribed?
So she told me that she decided to start the Zoloft.
And did she tell you how long she had been taking it?
For 1 week.
And did she tell you that the previous night she had increased the dose?
Yes.
And that's what was in the original prescription, correct? To take the pills at 25 milligrams for 1 week and then increase to 50?
Yes.
So if that had been done, taking the 7 pills, taking the pills for 1 week would be 7 pills, and then increasing the dosage the next night would be 2 pills?
Yes.
And so that would be 9 pills?
Yes.
When she told you she increased the dose, she told you she now feels awful. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what was it that was bothering her?
She was having increased difficulty sleeping. She had loss of appetite, diarrhea. She was feeling her mood was down. She was tearful and feeling very foggy and feeling very anxious.
So she was on the lowest dose of 25. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then according to what she told you, she had increased for one night to 50 milligrams. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did she also tell you she was scared to start something new?
Yes.
Is that in terms of another medication?
Yes.
So what was your discussion with Ms. Clancy when she's telling you that she's having these issues with Zoloft, but she's afraid to try something new?
So we discussed what to do moving forward. So we discussed whether it would make sense to switch to a different medication at that point. And at that moment, because of her negative experience with the Zoloft, she did not want to start a new medication at that point.
At this meeting with her, did you ask her if she had any suicidal thoughts?
Yes.
What was her response?
No.
Did you ask her if she had any homicidal ideation or thoughts?
Yes.
What was her response?
No.
Did you ask her if she was hearing any voices or seeing any visual hallucinations?
I'm not sure if I asked that in that appointment, but she was very clearly not psychotic.
That'll do it for today's look at the biggest moments from inside the courtroom in the Lindsay Clancy trial. Our special coverage continues here on Vinnie Politan Investigates. And of course, you can
What? He didn't even commentate on this crap. What is he doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting he would.
I'm surprised like he didn't talk about the shoot, I can't remember her name.
Me neither.
Short-haired lady.
Yeah, the first doctor we saw, I don't know. I kind of expected he would.
A little disappointed. Come on, Vinny. I mean, shit, we had more commentary than he did on his own shit. But I don't know. This talk about this mistrial because of Shut Her Up, I don't see that happening. I think the top 5, I mean, literally, you could just go from after the husband's testimony. After that, it's been a lot of top moments. There's been a lot of crap happening. I expected more. I thought he was at least like what you were saying, Rosie, when I was like, oh, you didn't even say anything about that witness. You're like, oh, he's probably going to wait until the end. He didn't.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. Little shocking, little surprise, but oh well. I think we've all kind of, as we've watched this trial, we've all kind of seen what has been some huge moments and what's not. A lot of huge moments. I'm really interested. We got the live trial coming up in about 19 minutes. Well, that is if they start on time. Typically, they don't. But I'm really excited to see this defense attorney today and what's gonna take place.
Yeah. I think since we have had quite a good recap on what we missed, I think now we kind of know what to expect, and I think he's gonna have a lot planned. That defense attorney, I think he's getting his rest this weekend.
It's gonna be an interesting day.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna be an interesting day. We got the Tupac trial coming up here at 11 a.m. Eastern as well. So we'll be covering both of these trials at the same time. I'll be heading over to do the Tupac one when that starts. And definitely be, after I'm done with mine, I'll definitely be checking in to watch the rest of this to see what the hell's going on today. And then we can kind of discuss it in the morning. Right? Did Christina has a good comment. Nancy Grace would have shredded some of these witnesses. Did Nancy Grace ever do an episode?
She did.
On this? Did she?
Yeah, she did. We
We'll
watched
have to check
it,
that one out sometime. Oh, you did already?
Yeah, but I mean, it's worth looking at again. It was a good one. I expected her to be a little bit more opinionated towards Lindsay Clancy, but she wasn't. I think it was more to do with the doctors, where she was getting a little suspicious, like most people.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all kind of like, we've all, like I said, most of us have had the same stories, not necessarily where they go and do that to their children, but we do have family members, a lot of us do here in the United States, where we know a lot of family members that have gone through some kind of medication prescription Christmas where they're just handing out, oh, try this, 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 without really listening to what the patient is telling them.
Yeah.
It's yeah, and by the way, if you guys, we have a poll up. Day 10 is Lindsay Clancy. Type 1 in chat for 100% guilty. Type 2 in chat for guilt by insanity. Type 3 for innocent. And 4 for still undecided. We got a live poll. The results show live. And right now it's a 50-50 split between guilt by insanity and still undecided. And Miss Cosmo has a good comment here. This case has me completely torn. I'm just not 100% certain. Everyone's completely different, so it's very difficult to know, right? I think what's pretty obvious to all of us is that the medical professionals were not doing their job. I think we can all agree on that. So is there anything else you want to cover on this day 9 recap, as we got about 15-20 minutes before this one pops off, day 10?
So that was everything that I wanted to go through just as a recap, but I did have a video just in case we had some time where we kind of talk about some of the conspiracy theories that have gone a little crazy. But
Yeah. The one I do want to just chat about this for a second. The one, and thank you for hopping in, Christina. Have a great day at work. Hopefully it goes quick for you. And thanks for hopping in and hanging out with us this morning. By the way, hit the like, subscribe if you're not, and definitely sub up to Rosie Overtime if you're not. She is up here with me today, and she'll be hosting the rest of the trial as I have to take off and cover the Tupac trial here in a couple hours. This conspiracy theory about this husband doing this, I don't even know where it's coming from, and it doesn't even make sense to me. So that's one of the biggest conspiracies I'm a little confused about, because I'm like, how is anyone even coming to the conclusion that this guy did this? I don't know. I'm confused. What's up? Talk to us, Rosie.
Well, I feel the same. I don't understand where it even came from, but I guess when it comes to people on the internet, there's always something.
I just don't understand where it even came from. So, yeah, if you want to play that, how long is that video on that?
So I was gonna start with the longer one, but to actually match the time better to when proceedings are going to start, I'm going to play the MK True Crime one, which is only about 15 minutes. So that's perfect, I think. If they're on time, it's perfect.
Yeah, we have to anticipate that they're going to be on time, even though most of the time they are not. They are not. Miss Cosmo says, CJ, I've seen a few different streamers regarding the husband, but I can see some of the specifics. But what are they talking about? Because I just don't understand. I don't know. Maybe we'll hear about it in this video you got for us, Rosie.
Sorry, I'm having a few technical hiccups. I really apologize.
And you're fine. And what's up, Jennifer? How are you doing?
Hey, Jennifer.
And it's not even showing icons. It's weird for you guys. Is it showing them for you? It's not showing them for me.
Nope, it's not. It is We're having oh, there's an echo. We're having a little bit of a technical circus.
Yeah, it's a technical circus today.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have the video ready. It's just not letting me change the scene.
It's not letting you change it?
It's not letting me change the scene to...
Oh, for what? You're live, Jennifer, by the way. Let me see. Oh, is that... There we go. Yep, we can hear you. How's that, Rosie? It just shows a black screen. It just shows a black screen.
There we go.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Finally, and sorry. Apologies. Okay. I found the right button. So this is from MK True Crime, and it's a quick one, so I'm pretty sure that they'll just give like a couple of general highlights, but what they're talking about here is the conspiracy theories specifically in terms of Patrick Clancy.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, it's going to be interesting. Here we go.
You and I have both been following this Lindsay Clancy case out of Massachusetts. This is the woman who's been charged with murdering her 3 kids, and then she jumped out of the window and apparently is now paralyzed. We've had a lot of drama in court. Her husband came out and testified on her behalf. He's publicly forgiven her. And I don't know if you've seen this, Mark, but there is a new conspiracy online that which is absolutely freaking bonkers, that he's the actual killer and he's wearing different shoes. Why don't you take it away on that?
Right.
Okay,
like what?
So I so wanted to hear your take on this because you have so little patience for conspiracy theories when it comes to this, right? I mean, as soon as I saw this online, I said, Murphy's head must be exploding. So take it away. I'll let you frame it.
No, it's like, and you're right, Mark, it drives me insane. And you know why? Because I spent 26 years trying to filter the loon out from my jury, right? Like, that's the juror that hangs the jury, the one that has to be smarter than everybody else, the one that's not listening, that they know better. Hey, their shoes are different. That must mean, and they're off to cuckoo land. But now in the modern era, it's kind of fascinating. It's a fascinating time we live in because it seems like every high profile case, there has to be some cuckoo conspiracy theory. And it's just, I mean, if it was 1 or 2 people, it'd be one thing, but it seems like so many people jump onto this stuff. So this is a guy that forgave his wife for the strangulation death of his 3 kids. He is suing the doctors and the medical professionals that, according to his lawsuit, overprescribed a bunch of medication to her. She had Prozac. She was suffering from postpartum, and he didn't make a universal nation of friends by coming out and doing that. And especially, it's such an emotional thing. You've got, the murder of 3 kids. I totally get it. So there's going to be people that aren't going to like him in the first place, but that has apparently now gone down the rabbit hole into, hey, I bet he's the real killer. He was having an affair. I've heard that. I have absolutely nothing to back that up truth-wise. He married a woman. He's already remarried. So he was the one that benefited. Now he's going to win this big lawsuit. He must have done it instead of his wife.
Okay, I have to. There is no way in which a person who lost all of their children has benefited from anything. Regardless, like, I don't even, okay.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, why is the word benefit coming into it, right?
Yeah, I mean, because he might win a lawsuit and he got a new wife? No, he lost his 3 kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if the husband can sit there and forgive the wife and support the wife against the medical malpractice, let's be honest, he's the one that had the front row seat to it all. He was the one that wasn't being listened to either from these doctors. And so, I don't know if I'm being human. I don't know if I could forgive If I was married and my wife killed my 3 kids, I don't know if I could forgive her. I'm just being human.
Yeah.
And the fact that he is on display showing this to me says, man, like he had the front row seat. He knows and saw way more than I did or could ever, no matter how much studying I do on this. That's got to say something. And to me, that's why I'm like, man, you know, like he had to have had a front seat. You got to, like, for a husband to forgive his wife for killing their 3 kids, that takes a lot. That takes a lot for somebody to overcome that and be able to do that. And to me, how you can do that is probably what you witnessed. You know, you had that front row seat. You saw everything that was going on, and you really do blame it on the doctors. I mean, even day 9, and I'm sure we're going to hear the same thing in day 10. Doctors don't know shit.
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be, that is the narrative of the defense. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that if anybody knows, it would be him. Like, I understand that people want to question things about him. That's like normal. That's human nature. I don't know. I don't see how anybody can jump to that from that. Like, it's such a stretch for me.
Oh yeah.
And guys, there is zero rational evidence that I have seen that actually supports that in any way. And Mark, it's like wildfire. Every time on my reel, I keep getting new little snippets sent to me by Magic AI because they think I'm buying into it, I guess.
Well, it's because, you know why? In the way that the AI understands us, they know you watch some of these because your head wants to explode. And so it thinks that somehow you're interested in it. And it reminds me, I don't remember if I told you this on an episode of In the Well or when we were talking often, but my father used to tell this story when he was a DA, and he was in Lancaster at one point, Antelope Valley. And he's prosecuting a guy, and the defendant or the accused got on the stand and testified that he did what he did because there was a transistor that was implanted in his cavity, and that beamed him orders as to what he had to do. And so Pops gave an impassioned closing argument as the prosecutor did the reply. First question from the jury is they wanted a transistor radio so they could test whether or not the defendant had a transistor in his mouth. And that's just fast forward now to there's electrodes implanted in my brain that are affected by low-flying aircraft. Fast forward to now, it's Starlink is circling over me, and that has affected me. It's a mental, speaking of the mental health, it's a function of the mental health relationship to the criminal justice system. And unfortunately, it's exacerbated by the ability to find others and feed on this stuff.
Yeah, look, and this is a really interesting case that raises some very serious issues. So for the viewer, most states use what's known as the McNaughton rule, which essentially that's what California has. So to establish criminal insanity, first you have the penalty phase where you prove that the person did it. Then you go into what's called the sanity phase. And if they understand and recognize the nature and quality of their acts, then they're legally sane. So the example we always give, and I know Mark has heard 10,000 times, you got an angel and a devil, that old trope. One is telling you to do something bad, one is telling you to do something good. And if the devil pops up on your shoulder and says, go stab that person over there, or I'm going to blow up the world, and they go do it, that means from their mental illness, they have committed an act, but they still know it's a human being. If the same scenario is, hey, that's not a person, that's an alien, go stab the alien, or I'm going to blow up the world, then they can be said to not understand the nature and quality of their acts, and they can be found legally insane. Massachusetts uses a stricter standard for the prosecution, and they have the burden never shifts to the defense. In California, it shifts to the defense essentially to prove insanity, right? in California, in Massachusetts, the prosecution bears the burden the entire time, and the language is different in Massachusetts, and it's like it's way more squishy and difficult to understand. I'll tell you, Mark, I read it. I'm like, even I don't know what this means, and I've done murder cases where with insanity defenses, I couldn't wrap my head around the instructions.
So it's so funny you said that, because when I was doing the research on it as well, because I was trying to understand, she's very ably defended, and I was wondering, do they keep it squishy so it's kind of like what the U.S. Supreme Court many years ago did with obscenity? I know it when I see it. And they want to just keep it squishy or flexible or fluid enough so that it gives jurors the ability to basically kind of channel the conscience, which is, do we want this person punished, or do we want this person to get help, or do we want, I mean, there's a lot of the law operates that way, if you will. A lot of the law basically says or gives you permission, or gives the jurors permission to kind of do what they think intuitively they want to do, which is justice.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing too, because it's not bifurcated in Massachusetts, right? So,
which is that you should explain that, because that's a key distinction.
I think it really is. So basically, in a bifurcated system for the viewer, you have the jury on the same case. So if it's a murder with a mental defense, the jury goes back, they get all the same instructions, they deliberate, and they'll return a verdict of guilty, and to get it to the penalty phase. So I think, Mark, that for a lot of jurors, that kind of slakes their sense of justice a little bit. They've done something. They know now the person's going to be held accountable in some form. And I think that frees them up a little bit more to be a little more open-minded in the sanity phase. In the sanity phase, they're going to hear expert testimony. They're going to hear people come in, and they're going to. I think that helps the defense a lot of times.
So do I.
In Massachusetts, it appears it is one thing, and I don't know if the jury is going to understand what happens if they find her not legally responsible due to these mental health problems. Because, and to be honest, Mark, I'm not even sure how it works in Massachusetts. I've done a little bit of light research on this, trying to figure out, like, what does the court do if it's a one-shot conviction or acquittal? And I think the court loses jurisdiction over it, and she might get out, but I'm no expert on Massachusetts. I don't know. I just know they have a different system and they have different language, and I don't know, man. The jury apparently did a jury viewing of the house. They went into the basement where at least I think 2 of the children were found, maybe all 3, before she jumped out the window. I don't know how to read this one, Mark. If I had to guess.
Listen? By the way, did you listen to that 911 tape?
It's horrifying.
It's haunting. For all you conspiracy theorists, the only way I think that you could go down that rabbit hole is if you had not listened to that 911, because that 911 is haunting, horrifying, horrific, any H word you can think of. I especially when you know what's coming, and you're not ready for it, even though you know how it is.
It's a great point. Great point. Great point.
And I also wanted to just comment on that, because I haven't heard Patrick's audio of the 911 call. I've just heard the dispatch, because there's a court order that it shouldn't be played. So even though some people I think do have it, it's just respectful not to. But just reading the transcript alone, you could tell all of those H words he's talking about, horrifying, horrendous. It was heart-wrenching, and I didn't even hear it. Just the transcript was bad enough.
Right.
It was just terrible.
Yeah, there's videos out there with the transcript. It is, and he made a great point too. Like, if you listen to it or read the transcript, you can imagine the horror that was. I can't even imagine. Like, you go down they're in the basement. You go down. and then you see their lifeless bodies laying there. I can't even imagine what that was like.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that you walk into your house and you find your 3 beautiful kids, and according to his testimony, she'd been having all these mental health issues. There was a journal that was introduced, her diary, basically talking about some of her intrusive thoughts. And the prosecution's position is this is a rational woman who is undergoing mental health problems, kind of going down that mental illness does not equal legal insanity argument. The defense, on the other hand, is saying, look, this is a good woman who's struggling with these issues. And so they're each arguing things from her diary. But according to him, she had the best day she'd had, almost like the going back to the suicide. A lot of times people, once they've made the decision they're going to do it, they seem like they're doing better for a day or two before they actually, end their own lives. And this almost sounds like one of those things. She took one of the kids to the doctor earlier that day, and all of her text messages to him seemed like she was like his wife was coming back. She sends him out to pick up food, and he comes into the worst scene imaginable. And that 911 call is horrifying. It really disturbed me. And you and I, Mark, I don't know how many thousands of those things we've listened to. This is one of the worst.
Yeah, it really is. It's in the, so like I say, if this guy is an actor, it's
yeah. So what's your prediction? Award. Where do you think it goes based on what
I just think they're going to, I think that when you've got the father, him, up there testifying, what interest is this jury vindicating? And more importantly, what is the prosecutor doing? You know me, I always go to slam the prosecutor, but what does the prosecutor think whose interests are they vindicating? This is somebody who obviously needed help, didn't get help, and arguably was calibrated, so to speak, on the dosage, whether it was the pharmacological or the practitioner, who knows? But what a tragedy! I'll
tell you another thing. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's sickening. And we see this periodically. And it's one of the reasons these cases get traction, because it is a car wreck that you can't take your eyes away from. I remember Andrea Yates. I remember I think it was Susan Smith. I mean, you can go through them. When they happen, they're burned in your mind because it undercuts civilized the community when a mother takes her children's lives.
And there's a whole range, right? We're talking about human beings. So some people really legitimately are suffering from that postpartum. We had one in Orange County that Jeff Robinson, who I know he dismissed, and because he researched it, he did a Jeannie Pirro. He believed that she was reacting so badly to the Prozac, that was a Prozac thing, that they dealt it. Very, very rare. I think another thing that's going to help her on this, and just finish that thought. Some people, Susan Smith, I don't think there's a redeeming quality or feature in her soul, if she even has one. So there are some truly evil women that kill their kids because they're sick of them or inconvenienced or whatever. So it's important, again, to treat everybody as an individual. Everybody's a statistical one. But I think another thing that's probably going to help her, Mark, is that she's in a wheelchair. And I think some of the jurors are going to look at that and go, okay, well, she has paid a hell of a penalty already. I don't know what her prognosis is, but I think that also is something that they will feel like there's been some justice done already in her failed suicide attempt, where she, jumped out of a second-story window, which is a bad way for anybody to kill themselves, because you might just wind up paralyzed like her. So this will be interesting to watch, but I think you're right. It's incredibly powerful that the father, essentially the victim now.
He's the victim. Who's more of a victim?
The only surviving one. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see it. Like you said, it's a train wreck, and it's horrible no matter what happens.
At the emergency department,
I don't see any of the jury members going, well, she's paralyzed. So she's paralyzed, so she got some back away. No, I don't care if she's in a fucking wheelchair. It doesn't look. That's your own stupid fault for jumping out of a window.
Yeah.
Don't jump out of a window when it don't happen.
That's the thing that I agree so much with what Miss Cosmos is saying in chat, is that like I feel like, you know, I have one opinion on this case, but then I'm always a little bit diverted by that attempt that she made, and whether or not it was very genuine. That's the thing that kind of pulls me back whenever I feel like I've made up my mind on this case, because that's the part that I found strange, where it just didn't seem like the most genuine attempt, and that's kind of the only place where
No.
I tend to agree.
Look at the cuts.
Yeah.
Look at the cuts that she put. None of them even did anything where they even needed stitches.
And I
Like-
have to say, yeah, I have to say that if it weren't for that fact, I would be very much on the side of the defense. But it's that point that the state keeps bringing up quite well, that's my doubt. I can't make up my mind.
Yeah, I mean, do I think that she purposely like jumped head forward and made sure that her body landed on her head? No. I don't even think she was trying to do that. Listen, if she was really trying to, she would have had, look at what's going on with Perez Hilton right now. You know what I'm saying? The dude was on a live stream going, and he had so much blood loss that he's literally having surgeries right now, stitches and everything. This lady here, I cut my wrist and I cut my neck, and none of these injuries needed stitches. They weren't even that deep.
Yeah.
So it's no wonder that what happened when she jumped out of the window happened, because I don't really honestly think, and this is, again, I'm mixed feelings about a whole bunch of shit, but I don't think she really was trying to kill herself, honestly. I don't. 2 stories, you're going to jump out of a second story and think you're going to die? No, you're going to end up with a broken bone, and that's exactly what happened to her. 2 stories is supposed to kill you. Let's be real. Just like the cuts weren't supposed to be deep enough to really cause damage, that jump wasn't really high enough to cause that kind of damage that was being portrayed. But that's just me.
I agree with you there. It's just, that doesn't add up to me at all.
No. What do you think, Jennifer? What do you think about the suicide attempt?
I don't think she put her whole heart into it.
Nah.
So to speak. Yeah, I think maybe she was freaked out about what she did, and maybe wasn't thinking clearly when she made the attempt, but it doesn't seem like a serious attempt.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
And
Sorry.
One of the most interesting things about it is that phone call, you know, that took place between what she did to the kids and what she did to herself, and Patrick saying that she sounded distracted but normal. I mean, how? You know, that it's everything
Right.
around that is just
Right.
wow.
If you're hearing these voices and all this other stuff, you're gonna anxiety, panic, nervousness, scared. You're gonna have all of these emotions going through your body if that stuff's happening. And he's like, "Oh, she's normal. I just went to McDonald's to go get us some McChickens."
Yeah.
This was totally planned. And I kind of like brought it up on day one, because, you know, as we've been seeing, and we're still waiting for the live, as we've been seeing this trial go day to day to day to day. Day one, I was already kind of getting the feeling, the vibe that the youngest child was the target.
That is interesting.
The older two were casualties of what she was trying to do to the youngest.
Wasn't it the youngest? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I've been talking so much. Go on.
Wasn't it the youngest that survived for a couple days?
Yeah. So the impression that I've been getting from what the state has been putting forward is a little different, because they've highlighted a couple of situations where it was the older male child that she was having a bit of friction with, and then a diary entry where she wrote that she resented her older children because they weren't allowing her to properly care for the baby. And that's kind of the feeling. I mean, it was just my impression that the state was kind of pushing for that, because they spoke about 2 incidents where the older boy had her and the boy had a little bit of issues, and where he was being a little bit of a handful, and she got a bit frustrated. Nothing serious happened, but it does seem like the state wants to mention that, especially when they brought up her diary entry about resenting the older kids. So it's interesting how we got different opinions on that, because I really thought that they were going to start pushing for it was the older ones, so yeah.
Well, and I also heard the reports that the where she didn't have the love for her youngest as she was supposed to, just different things, as we've been hearing through these days. So who knows? Who knows? All 3 of them were taken. Yeah. And none of it, there's no excuse for any of it.
Yeah, of course. No, definitely. But I think also the fact that we're getting different impressions on that, I think is also it's kind of highlighting that we shouldn't be. It's showing a little bit of that disorganization in the state's presentation, because that should be clear. If that's something that they want to put out, we should all be on the same page with that. They should really have that sorted out. They're not being very efficient.
No, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of us have mixed feelings on a lot of different things, because of what you just mentioned right there. Like, there's no organization on the prosecution side. Their witnesses are shit.
So bad. Yeah.
You might as well plead the 5th, because that's what it freaking sounds like. I don't recall. I don't remember. Whatever it's stated in the report, I'm not sure. I don't recall. Lady doesn't even know if she treated a patient before in the past with mental health issues. I mean, come on.
Back in the case. So first, let me ask the
here
questions. Has any member of the jury read, seen, heard, or overheard anything from any source about any aspect of this case that would affect your ability to be a fair and impartial juror? All right. Next, is there any other serious matter of concern bearing on your service as a juror in this case that anybody needs to bring to my attention? All right. Thank you for following those instructions. And then in regards to today's schedule, we've got a number of witnesses. I'm not quite sure how long it may go. So we may break a little bit early today, just kind of depending on the way the case comes in. And then in regards to where we are right now, we're going to, if you remember, when we broke on Friday, there was a witness at Dr. Tufts. The Commonwealth had finished their direct examination. We're now going to have that witness return to the stand, and the cross-examination by the defendant will begin. All right. And so with that, if we could recall that witness.
Notice how
Thank you all for being here. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I was going to say, notice how there's no sidebar. Not at all.
Thank you all for being here. Please hit the
I
like,
was just gonna
subscribe
say,
if you're
where's,
not. Go ahead.
where's our sidebar this morning?
All right, good morning, Doctor.
Morning.
All right. Ms. Reddington?
Thank you. Good morning, Doctor.
Morning.
Do you have your record in front of you, your notes?
I do.
And you can look at that anytime you want, just to refresh your memory of what's going on with you.
Thank you.
Dr. Tufts, you are presently a psychiatrist, correct?
Correct.
And can you tell me where you went to med school?
University of Vermont.
And what were the years that you were at University of Vermont?
2014 to 2018.
Beautiful country, great place.
It is. It's beautiful.
And when you graduated from med school, you then did your residency?
Correct.
And where was the residency?
Boston Medical Center.
And can you tell me, what is it exactly that you do as a psychiatric resident or a psychiatrist resident? What do you do?
You do a lot of different things. You rotate in all the different aspects of psychiatry, as well as internal medicine, so that you have a foundational knowledge of broad medical topics. You admit patients into the inpatient hospital. You manage emergencies in the hospital and in the emergency room, decide whether patients need to be admitted psychiatrically or not, and also carry a panel of outpatients.
And is this a hospital that you're working in, or is it Boston University? Is it a medical center?
So yes, it's the Boston University program, located at the hospital, Boston Medical Center, with also a lot of time spent at the various Boston VA locations.
And what were the years, I'm sorry, that you did your residency?
2018 to 2022.
So you basically were working as either a person studying to be a doctor, graduating, and then becoming a resident through the entire pandemic.
For the first part of the pandemic, yes.
The pandemic ended when Joe Biden said it ended in July 2022, right?
I'm not sure exactly when he said that.
Would you agree with me that when the pandemic started around 2019, when you began your residency, 2020, 2022, it was a large portion, if you will, of the pandemic timeframe?
That's the court feed, by the way. Their court feed just dropped. Uh-oh. Let me see if I can find another camera.
I'm also looking. Sorry, everyone.
Let's see here. And it's happened into, hold on one second. Da-da. Yeah, it's looks like all the feeds. Let's see.
Times. I began my program before the pandemic.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Labor and delivery nurse with a woman who's having a baby directly in front of you, can you?
I imagine not.
There we go.
Sorry, everyone.
When you finished, do you graduate from a residency, or is it like you get a certificate or something?
Yes, there is a certificate for completing it.
And then at that point, you are now a licensed doctor. Is that how it works?
Well, you're actually a licensed doctor the entire time that you're in residency. But upon the completion of that, you can obtain a full, unrestricted Massachusetts license and also become board certified.
And board certification, for example, you have a board certification in general psychiatry, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when was it that you got that certification?
When was it?
Yes.
It was September 12th, 2022.
When was it that you actually started working as a physician, as a psychiatrist?
I started working as a physician and as a psychiatrist during the residency training program.
Good morning,
but
Hopper.
I started practicing completely independently at Astor Mental Health in August of 2022.
August of 2022.
Yes.
Now, prior to working with or at Astor, is that ASTOR or ER?
ASTER, like the flower.
And what is Astor? What is it, like a group of doctors? Is it a medical center? What is it?
It is a outpatient practice that is owned by a psychiatrist. It has a number of psychiatrists as well as therapists.
And where is it located? Is it a brick and mortar type place where you have offices?
Yes, the original offices were in Braintree, Massachusetts, and now there's an office in Peabody as well.
Your office, where do you work?
So at the time I saw the patient, I was working in the Braintree office. I currently work in Peabody.
I'm sorry.
Currently in Peabody, Massachusetts.
So when you start working at Astor, obviously like everybody else, you can submit a resume, an application, perhaps a little higher, right?
It's a fairly lengthy process and a number of interviews with different staff at the practice, and some recommendations, letters of reference, verification of credentials, all of that. But yes, it can be comparable to another profession in that process.
Now, in August of 22, when you, congratulations, obviously you were hired by Astor, how many women had you treated in your residency that were postpartum?
With postpartum depression? Or just in the postpartum period?
How many women that were in the postpartum period did you treat prior to August of 22?
Many. It's hard to give an exact number, but I did have specific training in that population.
In that population. And where did you have the training in that population?
At Boston Medical Center.
And can you tell us in that 2-year period approximately how many women that were in the postpartum period that you treated as a resident?
Okay, so it's really hard to give an exact number, but if I had to say, at least 50.
So in the 2-year period, you treated 50 people in the residency that had postpartum. And can you tell me, what is postpartum? What is that?
Well, I just want to address that it was a 4-year period, not a 2-year period.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So
And sorry, what was your question?
Hold on. You saw 50 people in a 4-year period that had postpartum. In other words, they got them after having a baby, right?
Possibly, yeah, more or less. I saw a number of other patients. I saw much more than 50, but yes.
So after you had your residency and after you were hired by Astor, is that when you began in August of 22 your practice as a practicing psychiatrist?
Yes.
And when was it that you actually got your DEA license that authorizes you to prescribe medication to citizens?
So during residency, I had a DEA license, but it was affiliated with the with Boston Medical Center. And then when I started at Astor, I had my own DEA number. I don't know exactly when, maybe sometime around August.
So August of 22, you start working at Astor. August of 22, you got your DEA license individually that authorized you to prescribe medication, correct?
Yes.
And it was when that you saw Lindsay Clancy?
I believe our first visit was September 15th
of
2022.
So you were practicing as a psychiatrist for a little more than a month.
I was practicing independently with my full credentials for about a month, but the training is just immense that goes on before that.
Absolutely, it must be. But that's a residency that you're talking about, right?
Yes.
And you know, in a residency, I mean, all I know is Grey's Anatomy, but I mean, you're working under a doctor, the doctors are supervising you, and they tell you what to do, and then you report to them, correct?
They don't really tell you what to do. They're there as a resource if you need additional support. But I followed many of my own patients. I was the only person in the room with them. And, my notes were signed off by an attending physician, and that attending was available for any support I needed.
So in August of 22, when you started working at Astor, you actually filled out a form for your advertising. Is that correct?
I believe that was handled by other people at the practice.
And who would that be?
Well, we have non-clinical staff that handle the administrative matters.
Okay, but you're a doctor and you're out there to the public. You're advertising yourself and your services to the public. Is that fair?
I believe, yes. I'm not directing the marketing of our office, but yes.
Okay, never mind your office. I'm talking about you. You had an ad that was on the computer that if somebody wanted to reach out to a doctor, they could see your ad amongst many others, right?
Well, I don't think there was an ad. I think we have a website that had some information about myself.
Okay. Now, in August of 22, up until when you saw Lindsay, how many patients in that month or so had you treated for postpartum psychosis?
How many patients in a month? Up until that month?
I'm asking you about when you started working in August of 22 for Astor, and you're now on your own as an employee. How many patients had you treated before you saw Lindsay Clancy for postpartum psychosis?
Well, in the span of 1 month, I would say none, because it's a very rare disorder.
Okay. But it exists, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And one of the things would be the voices that people hear, right?
That is a symptom of psychosis, absolutely.
And that's legitimate, isn't it?
It is a legitimate diagnosis, absolutely.
No, not the diagnosis. People that have postpartum psychosis hear voices, do they not?
Many do. The disorder can manifest differently in different people, but yes, many people do hear voices.
How about postpartum depression? How many people in that month or so before you met Lindsay did you treat for postpartum depression?
In the span of 1 month, it's really hard to pinpoint that. Maybe a couple.
Maybe a couple? And do you recall how long you treated them for?
Again, it's hard to really pin down the individuals in a short span of time.
Can you tell the jury what you put in your ad or in the Astor website that you indicated that described you?
I don't recall.
Well, one of the things you did is that you said that you basically were a specialist in postpartum, people that have postpartum psychiatry. You indicated that on the website, didn't you?
Are you able to read the actual document? I don't remember exactly the wording.
Well, you've been working now for how many years now? 3 since you saw this? Or more?
Almost 4, yes.
You haven't changed your ad on the website, have you?
I have not personally, no.
And you've read it probably a bunch of times, right?
I've read it a couple times, but I don't spend a lot of time on my website.
Okay. Do you recall that you indicated that you were specializing in any particular aspect of psychiatry?
Yes. It probably includes a special interest in women's health, in perinatal psychiatry, in trauma-related disorders, anxiety, And, there may be some other things that were mentioned.
Yeah, like women that have babies and they're suffering from postpartum depression, right?
Absolutely.
You advertise that after a month working for Asta, right?
That's listed as one of my interests, definitely.
And again, forgive me, how many women did you treat for postpartum depression in that month and a half before you met Lindsay?
I don't know, maybe a couple. But I've treated many of them in the residency, which was just immediately before.
So when a person needs to see a psychiatrist, generally they're not well. Is that fair?
Some are not well. It really can vary.
So when someone comes to see a psychiatrist like you, it's because they need help, right?
Yes.
And when they come to you because they need help, for example, with Lindsay Clancy, she came to you because of your ad, right? Or your website for Asta, what you said about yourself.
I don't know exactly how she found us.
Well, do you know why she came to see you?
I'm not sure exactly.
Friday, we spent a long period of time going through your initial or the initial intake that she had to fill out. Is that correct? You recall that?
Yes, we did.
And the district attorney kept asking you, and this is in September, is it September 12th? Is that when that form was filled out?
I believe she completed the form on the 12th. The appointment was on the 15th.
So what does a person do? Do they call you or do they talk to somebody in administration? How do you get the form to fill out?
Yes, our administration handles that.
And what do they do? How does that happen?
They send them the documents, probably by email, and the patient fills them out. It might be all within the portal that we use.
Within the portal?
The patient portal, yes.
Okay, and that means that you go online and you can access Asta Mental Health, and then all these little drop-down boxes would come up?
Something like that.
Are you aware? Is it something like that, or are you aware of what it does?
So because I don't handle the scheduling and the sending of forms, I don't know exactly what it looks like.
Well, this is the form that you're giving a person that needs help because they're possibly mentally ill. Is that right?
Yes, and what's important is that I review the forms and we go through them in the appointment. Absolutely, yes.
Now, understand that your records, Exhibit 219, I believe, the jury will have access to the Tufts records. Okay, you're aware of that, right? You know it's an exhibit.
Yes.
Because you have talked to the prosecution about what an exhibit is, and you know that your records are now in evidence before this jury, right?
If that's what you say, yes.
I wouldn't take what I say.
Wow, what is up with this witness?
All right, have you talked to them prior to your testimony?
No.
You haven't talked to the DA's office?
No, not at all.
You're a defendant in a very large lawsuit, are you not?
Yes.
You wouldn't happen to be represented by an attorney, would you?
I am.
And the fact that you have an attorney is your right under the Constitution. It doesn't mean that you're guilty of anything, right?
Right.
Okay. And you know that the outcome of this case is very, very major to the outcome of your lawsuit.
I don't actually know that.
So you understand that if in fact it's determined that you advertised as an expert in postpartum and in postpartum psychiatry, and you've had a month experience plus a residency, would you consider that to be negligent or misrepresentation?
I do not believe that I have been negligent.
Do you understand what misrepresentation means?
Yes.
With a month under your belt plus your residency, do you really want this jury to believe that you were an expert? Can you advertise that?
I don't think that's exactly the wording that I used. I think I said that it was an interest of mine. I just think the wording was that it's an interest of mine. I don't believe I called myself an expert.
Are you an expert in postpartum?
I may be. I don't know. I think it depends on what you define an expert as.
Well, when a patient comes to you and they fill out the form, you agree with me that your records reflect that form that she filled out on September 12th of 2022, right?
Yes.
And the form that the district attorney went through painstakingly with you is basically, it looks something like this, right? That's one of the forms that you've got to fill out, right? Right?
Yes.
See the little check mark?
Yes.
Who puts the check mark?
The patient.
So how many pages, because I don't want to go through all the pages again, how many pages does a patient, or how many pages does Lindsay go through to check the boxes for acid?
There were a lot of pages.
What's a lot, 10, 20?
Yeah, maybe between 10 and 20.
Okay. And basically, they're all little checks in boxes, correct?
Not just checks.
No? So does the person then answer questions by typing in answers such as, do you have any pending legal problems? No. Have you ever been arrested? No. Things of that nature, right?
Those are some of the questions.
And the questions also, do they ask the patient what medications they were on?
Yes.
Before seeing you?
Yes.
And Lindsay told you that she was on SSRIs in the past, right?
Yes.
And SSRI means what?
A selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor.
And that's pretty powerful stuff.
It's an effective treatment for depression and anxiety.
Well, it affects the serotonin levels in the brain, doesn't it?
Yes.
It rewires the brain, doesn't it?
It doesn't rewire the brain. It increases the serotonin, and many individuals with depression have low levels of serotonin.
So Lindsay told you that she had been prescribed an SSRI when she was in nursing school. Is that right?
Yes.
What was the SSRI?
Prozac.
And how long was she on the Prozac?
I'm not sure. I probably asked.
Probably asked? Isn't it true? Don't
You're
you
the
guys have a
doctor.
saying that if it's not written, it didn't happen? You take copious
You probably
notes.
asked?
It's impossible to write down every single thing that's said, so I write down what is clinically relevant, clinically necessary, but there's a lot that is discussed over an hour that is not able to be written down.
Such as the fact that a person was on an SSRI when they were in nursing school was not an important fact to find out.
Oh, no, that's important. Sorry.
No problem. I'm not doing, the Sophie Cunningham act. I'm just asking a question. That's all. And you can answer it, okay? How about if she had a reaction to Prozac?
I asked her about the Prozac.
Is that written in your notes?
Yes.
And what did she say?
She said that she took it for a period of time. She didn't mention any side effects.
Oh, she didn't tell you that she had side effects. I see. So when a patient comes to see you with a month under your belt and they're sick and they're looking for help, you wait for them to volunteer facts to you?
Wow.
She volunteered a lot of information. She knew very well what her medical history was and was able to provide that for me.
Such as what? That she was in nursing school and took Prozac?
Wow. Wow.
That's part of it.
And she told you that, right?
Yes.
And she was pretty upfront and honest with you, wasn't she, in answering these questions, right?
I believe that she was.
We all spent some time talking about the fact that she declared that she had consumed alcohol and that she felt guilty about it. We called that on Friday. We dwelled on that for a while, didn't we?
Yeah, yes, that was a component, yes.
I mean, that's something that's important, right?
Wow.
Yes.
What was her drink of choice?
I don't recall. Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
I'm not sure.
My lord.
We're
This
not
is
concerned
disturbing.
that her level of alcohol use.
Well, the VA certainly was Friday, right?
Right. It is. Everybody knows. Done.
1 to 2, 5 days a week with medication. No concern.
Council, wait till you finish your answer. All right.
What the hell?
Ms. Reddington?
So is it important, doctor, for you as a patient, your patient, in other words, know who they are?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yes.
You know that she graduated obviously from college, right?
Yes.
Is she a good student?
I don't recall.
Do you know when she got married?
I don't recall.
Did you ask her?
Specific detail. I don't know. I knew she was married.
You spoke to her husband, Patrick.
Sorry about the technical issues, everybody. Please hit the like, subscribe if you're not.
Correct? Or did you?
Sorry. Attended one of the appointments, and I spoke with him on that date.
Ah. And did you say hi, how are you, and give him a handshake when you came to your office?
It was telemedicine.
It was what?
Telemedicine.
Telemedicine. Is it fair to say that after, what is it, 14, you said that there were 14 appointments that you had with Lindsay during that period from September till January? 14 appointments?
Yes.
Every single one of them were by telemedicine, weren't they?
Yes.
Until you came in this courtroom Friday, you never saw in person.
Correct.
In person, isn't that right?
At one time, she said it was difficult to get out of bed
Oh, difficult. Why was it difficult for Lindsay Clancy to get out of bed?
because she was very depressed.
And did you give her a hug? Oh, no, you're on telemedicine, so you couldn't give her a hug, could you? You didn't have any chance to even look at her in person, did you?
I could look at her. It was always a video appointment. I couldn't give her a hug, but that's not actually something that psychiatrists typically do with patients.
I imagine. Now I'm looking at you, and you've got the witness here cutting you off in half, right? So I can't see from your waist down, your legs, your feet, your hands, anything. That's the same you that you have on the telemedicine, right?
Yes.
Isn't it fair to say that you've studied and that you've learned that there are objective manifestations that patients may have that would, when she came to you, September 15th, 2022, look along with me if you wish, indicates why she came to see you, right?
Yes.
Right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Why did she come to see you? According, not guessing and speculating, never mind the TV. You just look at your notes. Tell me what brought Lindsay Clancy to your office.
Postpartum anxiety.
Is that it? Is that what you noted in the records?
Well, those were her words when asked, what are the problems for which you are seeking help?
I see. Postpartum anxiety. Now, as a psychiatrist, meeting with this young woman after a month or so of working as a psychiatrist at Astor, there are tests that you administer to a woman who's in postpartum to find out what type of anxiety they have, right?
Well, there are some screening tests, but the most important thing is what the patient tells you and what my assessment is in the session.
For all 14 of those what the patient tells you through the television. What, if you can tell me, is the Edinburgh test?
It is a scale that looks at symptoms of postpartum depression.
And when you administer, that's a major test, isn't it, for a doctor to evaluate a patient for PPD?
I wouldn't say it's a major test.
It's a pretty big one, though, isn't it? It's the only one that measures the postpartum depression, right?
It's a common one.
It's a what?
Commonly used.
Commonly used. Right. So when you used it on Lindsay, when was that administered?
I did not use it on Lindsay.
Why?
We used the PHQ nominating form.
I apologize, everybody.
That's like generalizing anxiety. The Edinburgh scale is the appropriate scale to administer.
The state is.
You're familiar with the Edinburgh scale, right?
I've heard of it.
And can you explain to me how it's graded?
No, I cannot.
There are 30 questions in it, are there not?
I don't use this scale, so I don't know how many questions there are.
So the Edinburgh scale, do you even know that the cutoff for someone that is depressed in their condition of postpartum would be 15? Anything over that, you're in severe depression.
Okay.
You know that her
She said, okay.
first
Okay.
Edinburgh test that was administered to her,
Wow.
her at a 23.
This is wild.
Severe depression.
I was not aware of this test. I was not aware that this had been administered to her.
Well, you know that except for the Prozac that she had.
Right,
when
Miss
she was
Cosmo?
a nurse,
Shaking my head.
23 years old. She hadn't, other than seeing her own doctor for having the baby, she hadn't seen any doctors. You knew that, right?
I didn't know exactly which doctor she sees. I think we ask about your primary care doctor, but she did not report any other medical issues that she was under treatment for.
So is it important for Dr. Jennifer Tufts to know whether or not a patient who is coming to you for help has a prior medical history other than what they might tell you?
Well, when patients are able to advocate for themselves and share their medical history, we rely on what they tell us.
Wow. Are we serious?
Advocate for herself, in your opinion.
Are we serious?
Absolutely.
I suppose that's what a month
Yes.
experience
How
gives
about
you.
November?
Yes.
How about December?
Yes. So sad.
And your medical records, you would agree, show that during that period of time that she was deteriorating, was a word that was used on Friday. Isn't that right?
So
No. So you used the word deteriorating on Friday, did you not?
she was a little bit worse at certain appointments.
Sorry for the technical issues, you guys.
And the
This sucks. We're like missing key parts of this trial.
which is not my word choice, is what is in note because I had to select that.
Because why?
out is a button where you have to click one of three choices.
So when the jury's going through your medical records, one of the things that they're going to see is that when you meet with the patient, you have a form that you fill out where it says, if you feel like you're going to harm yourself or somebody else, make sure you go to the emergency room, right?
Yes.
If you have any urges to harm yourself or others, go to the nearest emergency room. That's in every single time that you meet with a patient, right?
Yes.
And it indicates that if there's any, call the suicide prevention and crisis hotline. If you feel that you're in crisis, you may text home to a particular number anytime. What's a suicide?
A trained counselor.
That's for sure.
Just has training in therapy as well as in medicine.
Did you give Lindsay Clancy any therapy?
There was some therapy incorporated in our sessions,
Like
but
what?
we did
Like what?
providing emotional support, listening to
Excuse
her.
me. Hold on, no, please. No, she can't.
Hold on, everybody. You ask the question.
What the hell was even asked?
And then you can follow up with any
What the hell was even asked? I'm lost here. This is skipping.
Anything else you want to say?
So her sessions were largely focused on the medication management, but there was an aspect of therapy, including those items.
Okay, and the sessions were for what, 17 minutes?
No.
How long were they?
25 to 30 minutes.
So 25 to 30 minutes on the television, and would you face the TV screen with her for the full 25 minutes?
Yes.
And that's not noted in the records. It says 17 minutes on all the records.
So if you look closely, it says the therapy component was for 17 minutes. It doesn't say the entire duration is 17 minutes.
So what do you do when you're trying to give therapy as a psychiatrist to a patient that came to see you? What do you do? What do you do with therapy?
It depends on the person.
Well, how about Lindsay Clancy? What did you do for therapy with her?
I listened to her. I listened to her concerns and provided support. I tried to provide her with hope that eventually things would improve.
So you listen to her. You listen
A cheerleader, basically. I'm sorry, everybody.
And you'd agree with me that her concerns, right?
She was having a lot of difficulty with sleep.
On the September 15th meeting, you indicate that her mood was okay, but her affect was anxious, and you called it incongruent. What does that
mean? So she said she was feeling okay. She appeared anxious, and she also stated that she was anxious.
So one of the things that you talked about Friday is when a patient presents with an incongruent something or other, I don't remember, appearance perhaps, that would mean that they're saying, I'm okay, but they don't look like they're okay.
Well, it could. I don't think her would were really that incongruent at that time. Said she
What?
she appeared anxious. That's pretty congruent.
Oh,
Okay.
come on.
So did you put in the report that she was
said she was anxious and she appeared anxious. That's pretty congruent.
Okay. So did you put in the report that she was congruent or incongruent?
So that is not an option for me to indicate in that section, but
So-
it was congruent.
You're like a robot. You can't take.
What the hell's he even saying?
And write something down. You have to do the Dropbox and the X's on the computer. You're trying to treat a human being who comes to you for help.
And that's what's most important. What's most important was the treatment, not what is checked off on the box.
Makes sense. So you were unable to make a note as to whether or not her affect and her mood appeared to be in conflict and that she would have been incongruent and that she had poor insight. You couldn't write that down. Is that right? Because the box doesn't let you.
Correct.
So basically, she's telling you that I'm okay. Well, actually, when she can't, do you know that she never saw her other than when she was in nursing school with surprise you, a psychiatrist, and that was only for like a week.
I was aware that she did not. I was aware.
Pleasure of meeting. Is that correct?
I think it was.
And isn't that important for you as a doctor to take a history?
I did take a history.
So can you tell us? You're testifying here for the government. Tell us whether or not she had any past psychiatric history other than in nursing school for a week.
She did not report any other past psychiatric history other than the Prozac and Wellbutrin.
So when a patient comes to see you and you're treating to help that patient, if they don't report something to you, you don't know about it, right?
Well, I think it depends. There's certainly.
I am so sorry, everybody.
Well, you can't
I am so sorry.
assess it unless you.
Hear it or.
Of course, we already talked about the volunteering. How long to you for?
I'm so sorry, everybody.
Ask them questions?
Yes,
You didn't ask her prior history.
I did.
What did she tell you?
She said that her prior history was what we discussed about the Prozac in the nursing school.
So
I'm sorry.
basically,
I can't even understand the conversation anymore.
Sorry?
What did you encourage her to give her hope on September 15th?
What did I encourage her?
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly the words. It was
Did you write it down in your records?
No, we don't write those, details of everything.
Well, that's the
that's
therapy
said.
you're talking about, right? Yes?
Yes.
And you don't write down the therapy you give the patient in the records, right?
Well, I write something about it.
You write
I
it down,
mentioned
not,
that.
excuse me.
Hold on.
So yes or no?
Hold on. Just let her finish the question. You listen to the question and answer just what they ask. Okay? Go ahead. You can rephrase that question.
No, let her answer.
I mentioned that I provided supportive therapy.
What is supportive therapy?
And providing.
When 29, 30 years
We
old.
might just shut it down, you guys.
Yes.
I can't even understand what they're saying.
Right?
Yes.
Told you she couldn't sleep and she was anxious, correct?
Yes.
You know that she was postpartum, correct?
Yes.
You know that as a patient who was postpartum. By the way, what is your opinion of the period of postpartum? Remember, one could have postpartum depression and, more importantly, postpartum psychosis. What's the time frame?
It's typically 1 year.
So she was well within that time frame, correct?
Yes.
And you tried to provide therapy by giving her hope. And how long do you figure did that take? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes?
I'm not sure. I think it was different in each session.
Okay. So the only thing that you diagnosed Lindsay with on September 15th was GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, correct?
It was generalized anxiety disorder as well as an adjustment disorder with depressed mood.
And the medication that you provided to her was the sertraline, right?
Yes.
And the sertraline would be Zoloft, right?
Yes.
So this is a little chart that shows the prescriptions that Lindsay was on. And you are the yellow colors. You can see that. Would you agree with me that on September 15th, you prescribed sertraline, Zoloft, 30 count on September 15th, 25 milligrams, right?
Yes.
All right. I think we might just shut it down. I can't even understand what the conversation is anymore. It's skipping so much and it's cutting out so much. I have no idea what the hell's even going on the last so long. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in chat. Should we just shut it down or what? What do you guys think, Rosie and Jennifer? What are you guys feeling? I don't even know what the hell they're talking about anymore, honestly.
I'm so sorry. I missed everything you said because it was frozen, and I just heard "What do you think?" But I'm
Oh.
guessing you were asking about
Yeah.
if we should
Just shut it
and
down and do a
look,
recap.
yeah. I mean, unless anyone in chat has a lot of objections, I think it would be better that we can hear what we're trying to comment on, because we're kind of, in the dark if we're trying to. I don't know what Jennifer thinks.
Let us know in chat too what you guys want. We'll stick around if you want to, but honestly, I just, like I said, I'm having a hard time even hearing what's being discussed. So if I'm having a hard time hearing, I'm sure everybody else is too.
I do apologize. It's very frustrating.
It's technology. It's out of our control.
Yeah.
So
Let us know.
sometimes it rains, it's not sunny every day. So it is. I've been trying for the last while, and I'm just like, I just don't even know what's even being said anymore. So maybe we'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah, so I think that the main thing is that because I can kind of hear it better because I'm screen sharing, so when I get little jumps, I still get the audio carrying on, and then the screen just freezes. So I can tell you for sure that what we're missing is super
It's
important.
good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's why I was getting a little disappointed because I'm like, damn, I can't even hear what the hell's going on.
Like, I didn't realize the extent to which that you guys can't hear, but he is grilling her, so I do actually think that we should do a recap. It might be because it's live, so the videos that I played earlier I had pre-downloaded.
No, it's technology.
Okay.
It's technology.
All right.
It's nothing to do with
yeah, I don't
we're
want
not
you guys
able
to
to
miss
hear.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll try again tomorrow. We'll see if tomorrow's better. We'll wake up extra early again tomorrow. So come hang out with us tomorrow morning. We're going to try and get everything fixed here today and see if it'll be a better presentation. Because it's very important. We're missing very valuable information when it comes to this trial. And that's one of the most important witnesses, as we started hearing on Friday and then into today. So we'll be up again extra early. We'll have a notification set later on. But we'll be live probably 6:30, 7 a.m. Eastern. If you're up that early, come hang out. We'll do a recap. And then we'll just go from there and hope for the best. All right. I do apologize, everybody.
Sincere
This
apologies,
is
everyone.
Yeah, this is not a representation of, but again, it's out of our control. It's technology, and sometimes this happens. So we do apologize. And we will definitely make sure that even if we have to replay some of the trial just to hear it all, that's just what we're going to do tomorrow, but we'll try again.
Yeah. All right.
So I apologize, you guys. Thank you again for hanging out. Please hit the like, subscribe if you haven't, and come back and hang out with us tomorrow. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful day, and we're going to be watching it. We're just not going to be able to host it today. So thank you, guys. Please be safe. And I'm going to drop Rosie and Jennifer's links in the chat. If you're not subbed to them, make sure you sub up to them as we exit. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.